left that little bit of foliage cover. More shots to continue as this is going to be so rife. And yeah, Flom and Lex can fall back when they want to, head further north up the hill, and actually they don't have anyone to fight them. And now we're still going to be jumping on board with the Noble guys. They're going to be doing all right. They've still got the bike with them. They're making a lot of noise. This is, I guess, brave. I don't know. I don't know why you want to give this all away, but maybe a quick escape is what they want to keep in mind. And they still have a lot of high ground. There are players above them in Stalber, but for now, they can kind of relax a little bit and just watch out. That's all it is. Just get the spots. You don't even need to engage all that much either. I
mean, yes, it is a quick escape, but there's also the issue with the bike. When you're driving it at such a speed, if someone sees you and they're good at leading the shots, you are going to go down. There's no defense from any of the vehicles whatsoever, and I believe this is the kill from...
That'll be Lex and Flom.
Lex and Flom earlier on with the Car 98.
Yep.
So he's just tagged him up as he's crawling on the floor there, and they are still alive and still in the game. Moleman is still dead, as you saw earlier on.
Scoom's still alive.
You can hear the shots, though.
Forzen's still kicking, right? He was one of the players who did very well early on. We saw always... from, you know, one horrible position to another, you were kind of screwed no matter what you did, and we love a bit of ragdoll action, just slowly flops down. But outside is the guy I want to keep my eye on. He is one of my MVPs in this. I don't know if he's still got his teammate up. A very good player individually. If only had a bit of a better scope here, Yoonroot, but working with pretty much just the red dot, still in a good spot in the Wizard Tower. Circle's closing in. If anything, it'll play to him better now at this point. So we'll see if he can maybe make this position work for himself. You always will be focused, but you have so much cover to work with, so it does still work very nicely to your favor.
Chilling in the tower, just waiting for anyone to wander by and happily take them down, because you do have the height advantage. You do have the cover as well if you need to drop behind the wall and lay down. But he's got eyes on the rocks. I believe he knows someone's up there, or at least are waiting for someone to crawl down. Everybody on the fast side of the hill as we enter this one. Several people now moving in. We're on with I Am Lucy as she's making her way in with the buggy. Going to be making a lot of noise though, and she's only half health. She is stimmed at least. That's going to be keep on ticking while she's driving. Oh, there you have it.
And you can see the reaction.
Gone.
Oh no, the spin comes in. She has to get out, needs to get cover. Hope she can get down towards the defilade. She needs it. One shot will do it. Stylish Noob takes her down. Heartbreak for her. It looked like she may have just almost got there, but no. You can see the guy who took her down there. It's Stylish Noob again, who's been playing very well. The early kill towards Oshi7 and Serenity. Scoom going to find a couple of kills here and there. The back and forth Drifter, I think, just went down completely as well. Not a knockout, a full kill. Down to under 50 now. Things are getting very interesting. This position is lovely. Once that circle now will kind of close in, they have the defilade to work with. They can peek up and over and play it however they want, or they go look for the early reposition. All the players from the hill will have to start looking at the next options. Or do we want to hit a bit of ammo, maybe a new helmet or two? You can see the hands shaking, looking for the pickups here. Needs a little bit of the meds. What does he have so much of? 15 bandages as well. A lot going on. There needs to get rid of some of the attachments. They take up so much room, so going to put some of that 5.56 in. Got loads of 7.62, which obviously does take more space up in the backpacks, but a worthwhile switch out, and you know you can't drop it if you don't have the room in the backpack. Gotta love the system. So, does get the loot done pretty much at this point, trying to keep it as efficient as possible, and let's see how this one unfolds. In the northeast, you still have a couple of players, some playing in the water, they're doing the water tactic, cheesy, whatever, but Ninja and Chips are going to have to deal with that one. That's something coming in. On the eastern side, everyone's working through. There is a battle about to come down as well. Boom, knocking out Stylish Noob. So this is the battle that I was maybe expecting to happen. Interrogate's there, looking to help out his teammate, scared of what's happening. Evermore arrives on the scene, finally, out of the blue and into the fight. 30 seconds on the next circle. He can position well, but he's walking into an unknown environment. You don't know where they are. He could be a spray down for someone. But Ollie, I think, just got taken down by Yoonroot. He did. The Koreans are still in this, and they are doing damage.
The biggest issue with these two turning up so late is that because they've taken so much damage from the blue, so they do arrive on this. As you mentioned perfectly, Lauren, they're an open target, but they're a very weak target. Several shots will be coming on them. He's moving out, and I believe he's completely tagged up. You saw the health. I'm looking for that kill feed. That's all it's going to need.
How is he still alive in this one?
He's just bailed it.
Do you know what, Evermore? You're that guy, aren't you? Fair enough. Do you know what? If you want a QA tester, he's your man right now. He's still stimmed up. He can get a couple of the meds going on. They are going to do the water tactic, which is cheesy, but grenades can help. You can see Luminosity doing the same thing as well. So, you know, whatever you like, whether you like it or not, there's two teams doing this as we speak. Yoonroot, though, is completely dismantling Liquid. Haze just falls by the wayside, and he's going to do this all day long. We don't need to watch this. There's nothing he can do in the form of a fight. He might pop up and down to maybe do a little something, but it's not that interesting to me. So let's look elsewhere if we can and jump off this perspective, because the close is coming in. The circle's still good for them. You can see all the kills coming through.
Dying now.
Boom's taking them down. It's going to be the battle as we still watch the fishes, please.
I'm loving what LG have done. They've kind of built themselves a little mini fortress out of a boat and a car.
people will just end up blowing them up. Break still in this, knocking out Curvy Llama. I think that's Gassy Mexican's partner, and there's Gassy Mexican to follow. That's the team down. Break is still in this. You can see on the kill feed, and there's the spray coming from the Vector at this point. Well done on the extended mag, up to 25. Very, very viable. And people are just dying left, right, and center. Vicstar finally goes down. A lot of longevity towards him. 35 players now remain. This is going to kick off. There's so many alive in such a small area. Every single angle contains a threat.
TSM, they know they've got bodies in front of them, so they can go and loot, but they don't have much time. 1 minute 30, and the blue will be on their back. They need to move in, but as they move in, there are going to be so many people just waiting in ambush to take them down. This team here, though... Oh, my word.
Unroot.
He's dead.
He's still alive. He's on the other side of those rocks. He will have to eventually move to them, but you can see Interroga wants this kill. They said they're aggressive. They said they like to make these plays, but do they know exactly where he is?
He's dead now.
Someone else found him.
He did.
Okay,
this C9.
Yeah, no, you can see it falling back.
This
is just back and forth. This is instant action, covering fire coming through. Cloud9 getting the kills in. Some of the Noble guys are going down, but the other side of Noble is still alive. 2 of them in a great position, slow side of the circle. Solid FPS here for Cloud9 in a better position too. In the circle, good cover. Limited vision, sadly, towards the north side, but south he's got the perfect push down spot. Borg, they're going to find Lex. Lex finally goes down, but he was on a high kill count as well, doing well. And you can see other teammates bleeding out. The walking wounded here. The blue's going to move in soon. I don't know if we're going to have time for a revive. You can see him crawling, Jared praying for someone to help him out here. And this battle was going on from the very start, but now Mazarini's still alive as well. The land god himself, known for his days in Power Gaming back in COD 4. We're going to see if he can maybe find some late game action. Jared getting revived, getting back in. Only 5 bandages though. He's going to have to use them fast and get moving. The battle continues for Cloud9 as well.
Solid FPS, going to try and use these bandages, but unfortunately he can only do so much. There are several people right in his line of sight. He's looking for his teammate to give him some support, and he's right behind him. If he does fall, he might be able to get a pick up, but he sees 2 Interrogates on the hill. He tags him up. Interrogates pushed back now, and as you mentioned, Lauren, 28 alive, and this circle, well, it's getting very small, but there's still plenty of people alive in this late game.
Yeah, Interrogate's still fine. I like this position as him. He can define the fights that he's being pinched on at the moment, but you can see every shot comes through, everything counts, taking down armor, taking down helmets. It all very much counts, especially at 25 remaining. Ninja managed to take out Mazzarini. That's big. There's Ninja. Lovely control on the shots as well, forcing them to play him from the blue, just about giving himself enough time to run away. And you've got to be so precise in those fights because you give away your position. Stimmed up to the faster run as well. He's getting in. It looks as though Break's been taken down. Flom's doing the work, and his teammate's just been found too. This is so deadly. Mazzarini's teammate from the grave essentially is still trying to make this costly for the Luminosity guys. Mazzarini did finally go down outside of the blue zone, and the blue zone is claiming victims here.
Borg takes down MPR as well. Mithrin, oh, he's going to take down Strat. We'll see One Shot Girl also following that. This is where everything starts to get well. We're moving into the top 10. Chipsy will die. We saw Ninja walking away from him. He says, look, go mate, I am completely out of this one. And now they're all starting to get kind of lined up. 2 players, though, they're about to meet one another. If they look to the left, if Solid and Chappie turn around, they do have the hill, though. They have the height advantage, so neither players will be seeing one another. But now, turning up to the fight, a lot later on, we saw Sweater and his teammate. They would have sat him and Borg, but Borg has been getting a lot of kills. Borg, remember, is the replacement. Borg is the guy that was drafted in. He's the stand-in.
Yeah, great movement as well, going from cover piece to cover piece, not allowing free shots to come in without having to trade out, but he might get into a fight with either Noble or the other Cloud9 guys. You can see generally good players with the right approach will play to a certain aspect. They play the slower side of the circle, they play to the terrain outsider. This is the guy, this is my guy that I'm going to tip to be a very interesting factor down the line. His teammate's already gone, but he's playing the long game. He's playing the long con. Sweater might be in for some action pretty soon. I don't know if they're aware. Just off towards their northeast are plenty of teammates. They could be walking into a pinch here. They are safe for now.
We'll keep this one going through until we see several people. We're just sticking on board with Cloud9 again. They were doing the late game thing, as we saw earlier on, just propped up in the houses, waiting for people to make a move. Interroga's over here.
They're so close. The 2 teams are literally just off tiniest amounts.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate their positioning compared to the circle? Look at this. They are above everyone. They're up in the rocks. They have a sight line, and anyone that wants to make the way in, fair enough, there are a lot of trees below them.
This is the flank danger, though. This is what I was talking about with Cloud9. They can go up and still catch them off guard because they think that side is safe. Their teammate is watching it, though. The The other Noble member is watching it, and here comes a quick push as well. This is Outsider finally getting to the battle. He spots out one, he's going to see two. He knows where they are. He's just in the circle as well. As long as the back part of your character's in, he might need to wiggle a little bit because he's going to let them all fight out. He's playing for the long con. Scoom going to find Ninja, and oh, he's been spotted. He's got to take a fight. That's some great damage, and they're splitting the attention. He's down. He gets completely destroyed. Nice work from Noble. Not just taking one fight on one, but splitting the attention between two. Now the further fights break out. Noble boys know that Cloud9 are close here.
And they're still in the circle. It's giving them a wonderful ride right now. They have several people behind them. They're already tanking them up, as you mentioned earlier on. One of them, it's only been tanked up a little bit, but that's fine. Idacula's still full health. Pan on the back. UMP and M4 also. You can hear the shots, so they know where several people are. To interrogate his teammate. Will find one, knocks out solid FPS, which now means that Chappie has to go and help him out. Chappie's going to be worried, and they're all downhill.
You can go for the revive. You've got to hope that someone else engages against Noble because they're making a lot of noise. You've got to hope that the other Cloud9 guys get involved and help you somehow. Going to try and provide themselves. Oh, and it looks like Cloud9 are going to be fighting against themselves here. Great play from these guys, though. The circle worked well for them, but they claimed the high ground and they're playing off the back of it well. You shoot with a height advantage. Generally, every shot that lands will go to the head hitbox, but look at the mountain goat scaling on the right side there. And I don't know if Scoom spots it or if he just doesn't want to be involved. There's a player just running up that hill. He is ignoring them as much as possible, hoping he can get all the attention towards the guys on the rocks and he can be the shadow, playing it off the back. But Interroga is still keeping eyes very much peeled. They are the target. They are pretty much king of the hill, quite literally here, as the 8 remaining players start to show. You see the visuals coming through. Chappie's gone down. It is starting to really crunch here.
They need to be very careful. He's watching every single angle, and I'm loving this cover that they give. 2 players will try and make their way up, but unfortunately, Borg knocks him out. He takes him down with a headshot. They do have this cover, though, from these rocks, kind of like a bunker system. He can't get it up, but look at C9. They know that he's
Smart
getting
work
up.
from Borg.
Here's the aggression.
Quick push.
They're going to go for it.
Oh, there's still a headshot angle. Borg played that so well, playing the timing perfectly, gets the position, claims the high ground. Now he can rain down fire on the remaining players. This is what it comes down to. Cloud9 just working in. Oh, what? Sweater goes down. That's a big shot with the SKS coming through. And the blue, it's not going to favor them. They don't have helmets either. Oh my God, they're pretty exposed here. This could still go the other way.
Let's see how this one plays out. We'll take it down for a second. 2 players still remaining at the bottom of the hill, but as you mentioned, they managed to take Noble out. Get rid of them. They can't get the gear, though, as you mentioned. Oh.
No helmets on the other side,
there's only one player, I think, with a helmet, and is that going to be Scoom?
No, Scoom's gone. It's a 2v2. We're down to a 2v2 here. We've got the Cloud9 boys on the high ground, but they've got bodies littered everywhere, so they can pick up some loot. On the other side, I think that's Whitaker, I'm going to call him, what, WTCNN? With his teammates still alive, bear in mind. So, and the circle's in their favor. They are standing here right now. He should win this unless nades or something else force him out. He knows where they are. Extended bullets on as well. He's got it all. And well, Cloud9, if there's any time to prove what you're made of, it is in with this moment. 8 seconds remain on the circle. They have to move. They have to go. And they know it. They're baiting out the shots. They're praying someone peeks. Sweater's being the bait. He's just praying someone shoot at me. Please take me down. Let my teammate trade it. And he can't. Great after positioning here coming in. And now it's just the 1v2. This gets a bit scary.
Goes for the kill, and there you have it. Mithrin seals the dinner. Winner, winner, we have it. Six kills as well. That's awesome. That's a good bumper. That adds a lot more points on top of the points they've actually got for the win also. Incredible, incredible stuff. They stood the ground. You watched before. We saw it with Noble. We saw it with Cloud9. They had the rock advantage. They had the height. Yeah. But as soon as that circle moves, we then see the guys at the bottom who can just say, okay, boys, you have to make your way to us. You have to come to us. We'll sit here. We'll let them bring the fight to us. And there you have it. They bagged the first win. They take first blood in day 2, which of course is our duos tournament.
Yeah, that's Bosphorus, the team won. So Mithrin and WTCNN picking up the kills there, and just great positioning, if I'm completely honest. They played that very smart. The circle helped them out, but they split themselves up enough that neither player could be taken down without the other being able to trade it. You could see the approach coming in from the opponents. They were going to try and bait out one player, allow the one who is still on the rocks to take the shots and open up opportunities. It didn't work out. Good positioning, good play, and they played for kills as well, which I really like to see. They weren't quiet on that front. You can see for their team, they have 44 points from kills, which is some of the highest there is, so they did very well in this.
544 after game 1. Yes, indeed. C9 below them, 392. Noble 302. Liquid 302. And shout out to Scoom for surviving so long. You saw Molman. He went down probably mid to early game. Still bagging 302 points between them. Chappie and Solid FPS in 5th. And then as we work our way down 6th, 7th, and 8th. Everyone still, I mean, it was all about that rock fight, right?
Yep.
You locked at the top. It all kind of came down. 3 teams fighting for battle to make sure they controlled what they thought was the final circle. Then the circle just says, nope, we're going to switch things up a bit. We're going to take it down to the bottom. We're going to have to make you work for your dinner. Hey, the guys at the bottom, again, still with no helmets, but being so aggressive, sticking out, and well, there was nowhere else to go but down the hill.
No. So I think that's enough from us for now. I think we're going to take a second to kind of review everything ourselves here. But let's find out how that felt on the floor there over with Mithrain and the guys for the interview.
Yes, I am here with Mithrain and WTC from Team Bosphorus, all the way from Turkey. How are you guys feeling?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to win the first game.
I can see it. You guys are hugging right after you guys got the first place prize. How was that game for you? Did it work out like in your favor, how you expected, or did you really have to fight against the game to win?
We played very simple actually, and we did the right things every time. Every time. We did the right positioning, right peak, every time was right this game.
So you don't think RNG, luck, none of that had anything to do with your victory?
In this game, yes. This time.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Like the final circle,
Yeah.
a little bit?
Because we were a little close to the circle. Safe zone, you know.
Circle help us a lot. Help us, circle. And we got good positioning, always. And we got US is so much help to us.
We use our car as a cover, so
Yeah.
help a lot, yeah.
So yeah, there's no way around it. This game does have an element of randomness, but that's why we're doing 3 matches. This is only the first one, and you got yourself a fair number of points, not just with the victory, but also with the total of 11 kills between the 2 of you. How likely do you think you're going to be able to replicate this outcome in the next 2 games?
That was our plan actually, and we did it good, and we will try again. The same thing.
Do you think you're going to get number 1 again?
I hope so.
But do you think so?
Yes. Yes.
All right, I like it. It's enough for us here right now. We're gonna send it back to break, actually, where we get ready for the game number 2 in third-person duos here at Gamescom 2017.
The middle of nowhere south of Gatka, so people will leave me alone, and hopefully I don't end up scrambling to find a gun and everybody else has assault rifles and I've got a sickle.
My favorite place to land's got to be Pochinki.
If I'm playing solo and I just want kills, it's going to be school or military. If I'm playing more tactically, playing for the win, it's going to be something like Severny probably.
My favorite place to land is probably Pochinki.
Probably gonna be somewhere in the outskirts.
Probably George. George is gonna give you a lot of loot. However, it has bordered walls and it's very compartmentalized, so you can feel safe while looting.
Wherever I get map control.
Favorite place to land is probably gonna be the military base or the school. I like those fast action places and just go get right in there and fight everyone.
I'd say Georgopol. Georgopol is my favorite place to land.
My favorite place to land would be Primorsk or Novo.
Roshnok, probably on the west coast. West coast is best coast. Make sure you go there. It's got all the best gear.
Far away from everybody so I can loot up and then go to the late game.
Military zone.
Right in the middle in Roshnok.
Georgopol on the shipping crates right there. I feel like it's one of the easier places to control, and it's a place I've practiced the most landing at.
Milita. My favorite place is Milta Power.
Mansion.
Pochinki.
Lipovka.
School. Novo.
Favorite place to land is the military base.
Milta Power.
That'd be Georgopol.
I really like landing in Pochinki.
School.
My favorite place to land is military.
and gentlemen, welcome back to round number 2 here at Gamescom for the PlayerUnknown's Battleground Invitational 2017. My name is Sims, and joining me on the desk, as ever, is the wonderful Lauren Pansy Scott. Lauren, another wild, wicked, and wonderful game we've just seen.
Yeah, no, and the area it ended up on there was kind of crazy, right? Like, the way it closed in such an open area with that one real bit of high ground cover that actually didn't work out in the end was pretty good fun. But yeah, again, got to give credit where it's due. The end play coming out from the two guys who ended up winning this one over for the Bosphorus team, which was Mithrain and WTCN. Now, I know that I think that stands for something else, but for now, I'm just going to call it for how he signed up. But yeah, the guy really turned up. Young player. I think he's got a background in League of Legends as well, so he's certainly had his fair share of playing before, but he's really turned up here, and that's a lovely ending to it all for him. But outside that, we saw a lot of action throughout. Cloud9 almost just purely taking down Cloud9. We saw a lot of the kind of more established teams making it a little bit further in this one, playing it out as duos quite nicely. TSM were pretty undergeared throughout all of that, especially Break. I think he was quite vocal that he didn't even have a scope throughout it. You noticed that before when he had the Car 98, he didn't actually have a scope on that one, so certainly an issue there.
One thing I would like to say is the Cloud9 boys at the end, they knew, okay, well, we need to take control of this high ground, 110%. They had Noble there. They just eliminated Noble. 9 times out of 10. This is kind of the better way to play it. You saw them, rather than being passive and saying, okay, well, he's going to get his teammate up there. We shouldn't be rushing in and steamboating in. It was late game. It was final few circles. Why let your teammate, why let the enemy get the team up? Rush them. They had the UMPs out, up close, up personal, get the weapons, put it on full automatic and just spray them down, which they did. And they did it to a really good job of it. Fair enough, they didn't win, but taking them out, taking that position, it gave them a bit more in the, and it did get them up the ladder. You know, staying, as we saw yesterday, staying alive is going to get you those big points.
Yeah, and just a quick side note as well. I know a lot of people were worried about this, but we did switch on screen there that had the Twitch stream open, and that player was actually already dead. So again, that wasn't one of the players who were remaining. It wasn't one of the teammates, etc. But I'm pretty sure people are aware of it. Going to keep tabs on it, of course. But there's a lot of feed, so again, chill for now. Make sure we keep tabs on. Don't you worry.
There's a lot of POV switching.
Yeah, there's a lot of it, and it seems everyone wants to look at their own stream. You know.
That's the thing as well with the players. Once they go out, they like to see what's going on. They've been, you know, they watch it. Everyone else in here, we're having a good time. But we are going to be rolling into game number 2 very, very shortly.
Yep.
Any predictions here? I mean, that circle, in fact, before we get any further, Pans, let's talk about that circle. It went up north. We saw people in the water. We saw people just chilling for a little bit, then coming through the beach. We saw people up in the hills that came down. A lot of cover, a lot of rocks, a lot of trees. Good final battle.
I like it. I like it. It gets into what I enjoy about the game. I think a lot of the teams were undergeared because they don't take the same risks as they normally do, which is a bit of a shame. But you are starting to see the more established teams, as such, quote-unquote teams, I know it's still early days, getting a little further ahead and getting themselves in towards the top 10. So you're seeing a little bit more of, like, I guess, the skills showing here rather than it being a little bit more sporadic like it was in solos. I don't know if that's going to maintain. I don't know if that's going to change in the next couple of games going forward. I think you just broke my pen.
I did just break your pen. I'm sorry.
Why are you like this?
I'm going to buy you a new one.
These are my favorite pens as well.
I will literally buy you a new one.
I'm so angry. You can't buy these in Germany.
You know what? While we argue about this pen that I have just broken, I do feel really bad,
He's
man.
borrowing
Actually,
my pen every single day, and he's got. You know what?
The other one survived at least.
Yes, because that's in my hands.
All right, we're going to go down onto the floor, but we do have an interview with Cameron. Cameron, how's the feeling down there, dude?
It's going great, and I am, in fact, joined by Cloud9 players Sweater and Borg, who did indeed get second place at the end of the last match. How disappointed are you because of that ending?
Not very disappointed. We're looking for really good placement here. Can't expect to win every single game, but with good placement comes first place in a best of 3.
We did actually see that yesterday, how Hayes, who even got bronze yesterday, didn't get a single #1 top placing, but he still medaled after that. So second place is definitely a good spot if you can get similar positioning later on. But you guys had really good positioning in the rocks on that hill leading up to that final engagement. It was a good 2-on-2. Remind me, how many kills did you get from that position?
Borg got a total of 8 kills. I was just an assisting player. I honestly didn't get a single kill, but.
And that's a perfect thread to go off of, because this was actually mentioned on the stream as well when you're getting a lot of these kills. You are, in fact, a stand-in for Crunch, who at the last minute couldn't get a hold of his passport. And a lot of times when stand-ins show up, of course, they're usually the weakest member of the team, because if they weren't, then why were they not on the team to begin with? Yada, 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 general storyline. but you're coming here and you're really making everyone look at you and see that you are actually a really good player who's not just an emergency stand-in. What's it like playing with Cloud9? What's it like playing with this team of guys right now?
It's just amazing. Getting this opportunity to face a lot of good players at a big event like this, it's just amazing. And Crunch is a good friend of mine, so I hope he's staying home there and cheering for me on Twitter. Crunch is awesome.
I'm sure he is. I guess the next question to go to is that you guys particularly are really big proponents of third person. Why is that?
There's a lot that goes into that, a lot. Yeah. So with a map such as PUBG and how the terrain works, I feel like first person is very, very forgiving in the sense that I look at BR games, H1Z1, PUBG, like as a game of RTS, real-time strategy, as well as a shooter game. So you're working against the environment, which is the blue, the safe zones, even the red zones, random spawns, whether it be car spawns, loot spawns, so on and so forth. And I feel like the information you gather from the third-person camera and the FOV it provides is the way to counter the map. Otherwise, in way to counter players, that is. You can always fight the map first person, third person, good positioning, so on and so forth, but in order to actually avoid players, know when to take fights, know when to walk away, see where players are, and just basically have a general mapped out location of the rest of the teams on the map, you can put yourself in a proper location on the map to either have high elevation or just play assist for the rest of the map. You start putting damage on everyone because of your positioning. You don't necessarily need the kills, you're just looking for placement. So I prefer third person simply because players that don't know how to put themselves in the proper location aren't forgiven for that. Whereas in first person, given the terrain and everything alike, they are very, very forgiven.
All right, well, I'm sure we can go on and on about this topic, which I'm sure we're going to continue to do so at later dates. But final question. We're still sussing out the scene for Battlegrounds esports. If there was any rivalry that you had to claim right now that you had with another team, who would that be?
Of course, TSM, right? However, I did go on my way, and I very much like the TSM guys. And I know Twitch chat's going to be like, nah, F that. They want the Cloud9 TSM rivalry, but of course it still stands. But at the same time, we are very good friends with them.
All right, good stuff. And I think we are actually getting ready to go into game number 2. So I'm going to toss it back to the desk with Sims and Pansy to bring us in all of that action coming right up.
Thank you very much indeed, Cameron. Yes, Cloud9 looking to stick a win on the board here. Now, I like what he touched on as well, Pansy. He said, okay, fair enough. It's not about the win there. It's about the win at the end of the best of 3. It's a long game, and you know what? That can be in the mind because there is big figures and big digits when you look at the position where you are on the board. We'll bring you the scoreboard up in a second to give you a quick update on the standings where everyone's sitting and whatnot. But the higher up you can get on that scoreboard, the more points you're going to bag for your team. So, necessarily not getting aggressive. Saying about getting aggressive, you heard it there. 8 kills. That's still big for a duos tournament like this.
Yeah, it is. And according to the rule set that I have in front of me, it's top 4. That's duo day 2, top 4. 30K first, 22nd, 8, and then 4 as they go down. So it is all about longevity, and we are seeing a lot of the kind of more established teams sticking in there. Mazzarini and Outsider doing well as well, which were the qualifiers coming through. But credit where it's due, Mythrain and WTCN played really well, and they played a kill game too. They didn't just play for the passive long sort of run where of course you're just playing for positioning and getting up on the board. They actually played it really well with the kills too. So I want to credit them for playing the nice way to watch. Now, you don't have to do it. It's actually pretty risky, but they actually did play the way I enjoy watching the game coming out. I think Cloud9 as well displayed a lot of what you like to see if you're a third-person fan. Good positioning, a lot of cerebral plays in that aspect of you know, how to just create rotates, good pivot points, and even being support players. Sweater there even saying he would be the support player to play in Borg, and I don't blame him either. We can jump down a little bit. Smack and Vis on there, probably a standout. The Noble guys were certainly doing some work. Liquid, I think Ollie and Hayes actually got caught by Ninja at one point, so that was them going down if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit more of the experience towards the top end. But actually a lot of the streamers getting in, getting dirty as well. You see Cake getting the kills in there too. He's still up in this one. But as said, all it takes is a really good position on the board to shoot the way up their ladder. So if we see more of that coming in, I would be surprised to see those top 10s changing up here.
Well, I want to get your thoughts on something while we do get this game number 2 rocking and rolling.
Yep.
Do you think people are starting to find a role within PUBG? Do you think, okay, I'm a rifler, I'm an SMG, I'm a sniper, where if someone, okay, they're looting around, they find an SKS or they find a Kar 98, do you think they're going to give it to someone who's on their team who they know will perform every single time with that weapon? Do you think we're going to start seeing individual roles as we progress further through this game's life?
I like to hope so. I think there's definitely ability for individual roles to come in. I think that's really, really viable. Everyone has to be able to do it to a degree, right? You can't just go, oh, I've only got a Kar 98, I'm screwed, I guess I'll just give it to you, right? That's not going to be good enough. But I'm pretty sure you could go for something a little bit smarter and, you know, split up the loot accordingly. I think ARs are ARs, you'll have personal preference, but I don't think it'll warrant too much of a change out just yet. I think that maybe come down the line if it gets a little bit more refined. But yeah, I think there are players who are, you know, more surrounded and more into certain weapons and how they play it out. Like, for me, Molman is one of the players who will stand out with any sort of sniper. He, to me, is a little bit more defined towards that, but certainly an all-rounder. So we might see it in the future. I don't think it will come in as much in duos, but squads, there could be that aspect coming through.
And I like what we're seeing. Even then, there are certain few cases. I copped for it once. Could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure someone traded up a level 3 to someone who actually had an SKS in his back pocket. Again, could be wrong, but that's something you do need to watch out for if you got a level 3, especially when you're playing in squads. If you've got a man who's got a sniper and he's good with it, give him the level 3 helmet, let him poke, let him try and get a pinch, let him do the damage and get some information where people are. Again, as Pansy mentioned, it's not going to be too much of an issue when you look at duos. Whatever weapon you need, you're going to be picking up. You're looking for the rifles, you're looking for the upgrade on the armor, on the vest, you're looking for the grenades, the smoke grenades, the meds, getting the Red Bull in there, everything that you can do just to make sure you've got plenty of things in the backpack and you're ready to at least either turn up to a fight, to be able to take that fight, or turn up to a fight and be able to survive it. Because those final few circles, again, it's not necessarily about killing the enemy players. It's getting in a good position, watching them kill each other. There is a viable strat for that, and then being able to advance, stay alive. And there is a lot to be said for getting plenty of meds. And time again, you'll still see people just dying off because they don't have anything. They haven't looted long enough, or they've been in the circle too long. They've had to waste everything. I say waste everything. It's not a waste if you're staying alive and you're managing to make your way forward. But turning up to late game, not very well kitted. You're just asking to die. But again, it's all about the points on the board. So if you're high up on the board, turning up late, it doesn't matter.
No, you're absolutely right. It's an awkward game to play out, especially in the situation that I think TSM found themselves in. They were the prime example of a little bit of loot, not enough, but they at least made it in towards, I guess, like the top 10. I think they actually made it in the end, maybe top 15. I'm not 100% sure when they got called out, but yeah, they had really limited amounts. So it might encourage a couple of teams to maybe go for the higher loot value in this one. Bear in mind that not that many people went down to Novo or Military Island. Even though the circle actually didn't favor it down the line, it could have been something that could help some of these guys out. Again, that's, you know, it's all if buts and maybes. It's not like you can 100% say this will help you, because that circle could have been anywhere. There could have been more players, but, you know, we have hindsight, 20/20 vision, all of that jazz. That's just the thing we're seeing coming through here, that towards the end, you can't do the clean looting as you'd like. You're a little more under pressure. And we are just waiting for these players to get this one started. One
person I also want to give a quick shout out to, you saw him in the pink shirt supporting the pink wall there. Yeah. It's going to be Drift. If you've ever watched his YouTube channel, you've had a look at some of his videos. They are incredible. He does these breakdown videos where he describes his findings. He'll test guns, he'll test armor, he'll boot up a custom game and work with his teammates to look at what's the best option. There's one in particular where he talks about spray patterns of guns, what the compensators do, what the stocks do, various other things, all the variables, laying down, crouching, going prone. And there's another one that moves on to armor as well. So if you want to learn a little bit more about how armor works, when you need to be upgrading a helmet, I mean, we can talk for hours on it, but when you can talk about upgrading a helmet, upgrading a vest, looking at spray patterns, looking at the attachments for guns, make sure you check out Drifter's channel, because there are some really, really valuable videos on there, and it's a really damn good source of information.
Yeah, also if you want to know what a little bit of the delay is, you can see Mythic there. Lex and Flom have managed to break their PCs.
Oh.
Thank you, CS boys. I don't know how they manage it, but they have, so that's going to be fixed up as soon as, I can imagine. Might just take a little bit longer to get this one started because of that. So blame them. Although, yeah, they've got a lot of support here. I was kind of surprised. You know, I like crossovers in games. It's nice to see the CS guys still getting some good support from the crowds, and they clearly enjoy it. But yeah, overall, it might take a little bit of time, but I think we'll start to see the breakout teams and the consistency coming through in round 2 more than the first. I think first is everyone getting situated again, and then round 2, people start to get a little bit braver. Towards the end of the day, we actually see the fully fledged sort of game plan coming out.
It was nice to see the Liquid boys up there once again, and that's no kind of me siding with a set of players as such, but compared to yesterday, we didn't see them get a win, but we saw 3 of their players up in the top 10. Like, you know, and now they're already in top 10 once again when we move on to duos. I really think overall, Liquid just seems like a really solid squad. I mean, in the previous one, Scoom, he made it really high up the ladder, and I believe he lost Mormon quite early on. I want to say maybe it's around the 40, 50 kill mark, but he still carried on as a solo, made it all the way up, made it down to those final few circles, and again, that's why his team is now rather high up on the board.
Yeah, and I really have to say as well, for me, Cloud9 were a big difference from day one to today. They actually did very well. Not only did they improve thoroughly from the solos, you can see how they play, and they had a very smart approach. It wasn't just, you know, part of them. It wasn't just like one side of Cloud9. It was both of them. Even the stand-in played very, very well there.
Very well.
So again, really enjoying seeing them coming to their own and showing why they're here and why they're, you know, representing Cloud9 at this sort of environment. Good work from them. But it looks like everyone's starting to feel a little bit better about it. Now, this is the guy I'm kind of surprised he didn't have a better bit of play here, but. Love saying that name, don't you?
Is this the guy yesterday when we were watching him qualify that was just drilling people with the AK?
Well, he's one of the players, if you want to look him up on PUBG.me or any of them, it's 3T Butts. Duo, for example, on the EU server, he's been, you know, rank 1, 2.8k elo. He's probably one of the highest elo players here. Even in the recent season that most people haven't got that much elo on yet because they're playing first-person, you know, perspective servers and what have you. He's still on 2.5k rating on that, 2.8 as said on Duo, squad 2.7, and that's the teammate with Outsiders. So that's why he's found the camera. But no, like, he's one of the players to keep your eyes on. So he clearly made a mistake during that one, though, to get caught out so early on.
All right then, Pansy, we've got a bit of time to kill here and a bit of time to fill. So let's talk about a very big topic, what I did touch on earlier on, vests and helmets. When's the right time? There are various different kind of opinions out there. Helmets, 100%. It's a level 3, it's a level 2, level 1, upgrade it every single time.
Nazzarini, why you like this?
Is this your boy, who you know?
He's still wearing Infected Mushroom t-shirts, I'm pretty sure, unless he's changed that to his own brand. I'm just well aware of this guy because he's been around the Call of Duty scene for many, many years. But yeah, armor, it's you know, the durability and then damage, I guess soak, you can call it, or reduction, is pretty big step up on the level 3 helmet. 55 is the damage reduction, durability is at 230. So basically just the value of what situation you're in and what are your options to go to is all it goes to. And the same with the vest. The damage reduction is the main thing. It does, of course, limit your longevity. That's the only thing you discuss because obviously the durability will then shrink. So it's like, do I stick with it and hope that, you know, I have enough left on this that will allow me to even get that far with the damage reduction in place? So for me, as said, I'll always look for the go up to the 3s no matter what, just because of the damage reduction. I think that if you're expecting to live throughout a fight beyond the kind of durability, you're expecting to get away with murder, which is very unlikely. The damage reduction is, you know, goes up to 55%, so it's huge.
Next fight win scenario then, when you're looking at these vests and such, if you've got a completely tanked up level 3, I mean, I'm talking durability wise, there's next to nothing on it. Are you looking to downgrade, excuse me, to a full level 2 so you can at least keep surviving in these fights and take the next fight as it comes to see what you can upgrade off of?
Yeah, as I said, situational and a little bit of preference to a degree, but not much. It's, you know, the durability isn't the massive factor when you go between 1s and like 2s and 3s. It's the 40% damage reduction from 55 from the level 3. So it's like, if you feel as though you need to go to that will give you a little bit more time to be able to return a fight or sustain through a fight. Because let's say you're down to almost no durability or you're completely shredded on your level 3 armor, then yeah, sure, look to a level 2 and then maybe pick one up as you go along, ideally hoping. But as well, it's things like targeting where to shoot opponents. You have free shots. If you need a level 2 helmet or above, you're stuck on level 1. Don't shoot them in the head. Go for the body shot. You know, it's even when the people are knocked out, people rush for that kill if they're inexperienced, especially. So take your time. Go for the body shots if you need the head armor. Headshots if you need the body armor. It's pretty basic. Also shoot the legs as well.
Yeah, I mean, you see the amount of times people go down, you'll just see them like rushing in there. Okay, I want a free kill, but don't. He could have valuable gear on there. Go for his arms, go for the legs, especially if his teammates know where to be seen and you do have that time, but you do obviously have to remember he's not dead, he's crawling around, he's going to have a teammate flying around there, so you've got to watch yourself. All personal preference, there's a lot to be said about it, and it's a big discussion topic that we obviously will get into when there is more time. For now, I believe we're going to throw it down to another interview because we've got Cameron on the floor. Cameron, over to you.
He just doesn't drive for us.
Probably Chipsy, because he drives a lot and he's probably worse than Ninja.
Solid FPS, yeah.
Sweater.
Either myself or Chappie.
I think Stat is definitely the guy that does the most flipping.
Drifter.
Drifter.
If I had a name named, probably Drifter.
Joey.
It was definitely hotted. Absolutely hotted.
Forsen. Probably me.
So if one of our teammates flipped the car and got us all killed, there's no question who it was. It was Muzel.
Muzel.
Mid-train.
Mid-train.
It's me.
Probably Moleman. He's the worst driver I've ever seen.
Definitely Moleman.
If the car gets flipped, it's definitely me who's driving.
It's either Reckham, Prick, or Natural. One of them two.
Oshi7.
Me, probably.
If one of my teammates gonna flip the car, it will be Alf Place.
Onuktivs.
It was me.
Break.
This.
Probably me.
Jared FPS.
Lucy May.
Jared.
Boop, boop, beep. Boop. The middle of nowhere south of Gatka, so people will leave me alone, and hopefully I don't end up scrambling to find a gun and everybody else has assault rifles and I've got a sickle.
My favorite place to land's got to be Pochinki.
If I'm playing solo and I just want kills, it's going to be school or military. If I'm playing more tactically, playing for the win, it's going to be something like Severny probably.
My favorite place to land is probably Pochinki.
Probably gonna be somewhere in the outskirts.
Probably George. George is going to give you a lot of loot. However, it has bordered walls and it's very compartmentalized, so you can feel safe while looting.
Wherever I get map control.
Favorite place to land is probably going to be the military base or the school. I like those fast action places and just go get right in there and fight everyone.
I'd say Georgopol. Georgopol's my favorite place to land.
My favorite place to land would be Primorsk or Novo.
Roshnok, probably on the west coast. West coast is best coast. Make sure you go there. It's got all the best gear.
Far away from everybody so I can loot up and then go to the late game.
Military zone.
Right in the middle in Rosshok.
Georgopol on the shipping crates right there. I feel like it's one of the easier places to control, and it's a place I've practiced the most landing at.
Milita. My favorite place is Milta Power.
Mention.
Pochinki.
Lipovka.
School. Novo.
Favorite place to land is the military base.
Milta Power.
That'd be Georgopol.
I really like landing in Pochinki.
School.
My favorite place to land is military.
The best thing about PUBG is winning games. The rush you get, it's so addictive. You just want to win every game you can, and it doesn't get old. There's so many different ways to do it.
Best thing about PUBG is just the adrenaline rush you get. You have one life, and if you mess up, you're out. Gotta wait for the next round.
That you have one life, and if you make a mistake, it's over.
The variety of weapons and just how different every game is going to be.
The end game and how every game is a overtime round 9 situation whenever you get there.
Every match is different for the most part. Like a lot of events will be similar, but pretty much every match is different in a way.
No matter if it's game number 100 or 1000, it's every time exciting.
The competitive aspect of it and one team or one guy being alive at the end.
It can be intense at any second.
The amount of replayability it has, and the fact that it's an early access title that's getting updated consistently.
The action, you could jump straight in, shoot everybody. It's good fun.
I don't know. There's so much thrill to it.
The randomness, you know, you never get the same battle more than once. There's always something new every time you go in.
How random it is. Every single game is different.
The adrenaline you get from winning a game.
The adrenaline rush you get in the top 10.
Outplaying your opponent.
Chicken dinner, of course.
The best thing about PUBG is seeing these children that drop to the school and get a headshot by double.
My playstyle for the most part is somewhat more defensive.
Aggressive and arrogant.
I like to take things slow, safe, and more about positioning than going for first kills.
Slow and methodical.
If I'm on a winning streak, I'm playing aggressive, I'm feeling good. Whereas all it takes is a few rough games where I get caught out or just the odds are against me, and I'll start playing much more passively and just trying to avoid those gunfights.
I would say defensively aggressive.
The entry fragger for our squads if we're like taking a building or something like that.
Probably very passive and strategic.
Semi-aggressive, I'd say.
My playstyle, sporadic, headache-inducing, fast, but hopefully accurate.
Aggressive when I need to be.
Aggressive, kind of dominant. I like to intimidate other players. I like to let them know that I'm there, and I just like to go after them.
Passive-aggressive. I like to take a tactical approach, so I like to put myself in a position before engaging fights.
Tactical.
My playstyle is pretty tactical, but then I rush people when I need to.
Very aggressive.
Conservative in the beginning, and then super aggressive towards the end of the game.
Very tactical and silent.
My playstyle is very aggressive, though when this strategically is the right move, I also like to camp.
My playstyle is aggressive.
Very aggressive. AFK.
Well, that's clearly not an interview, so I'll take responsibility for that one. But we did see some interesting comments there. It's nice to also listen. I mean, we speak, Pansy, about the diversity of people that are obviously in this game. But the diversity of where people like to land and people's strategies, where they want to go. I'll go somewhere where no one's going to bother me and completely leave me alone. But others are like, yeah, I want to go to school. I want to get stuck in.
I preferred it when they just made car noises. That was my favorite part.
It was interesting.
I also liked when people took responsibility of when they crashed the cars. It was like everyone blames and they go, yeah, it actually is me.
There is actually a person in ESL that does love to crash cars, and it is a bit of a meme now, to be honest with you. His name is Oliver Bricks, and he does a lot of social media, so if you do know Oliver Bricks, make sure you tell him that he's a terrible car driver and should never drive ever again.
And speaking of social media, use the hashtag Battlegrounds to let us know who you think is going to be walking away with today's win. We've already seen the first couple of games, well, should I say the first game go down, but a couple of very different players showing us some ability, and oh, that's not a good sign, is it? Yeah, don't put the camera on it. Oh, good choice. Oh, just a quick restart.
Yep.
Today's going to be one of those days, isn't it?
You know what? We're in pre-release slot. This is how it goes down. We're going to have it's going to be a fun day. We're just going to stick by it, and in the meantime, we'll do as much felling as we humanly can possibly do.
Look, we've already discussed the percentage values of armor. How much more do we have to go to here?
Should we talk about gun add-ons?
No.
No? You don't want to go down that road?
I'm not a wiki.
Oh, come on. You are, actually.
Well, it's because you can just look it up. No one cares about the percentage change.
Written down. All right, then I'll tell you what. What's your favorite AR? Come on. And why?
AK with a compensator on it. I like damage.
I know you like damage, but the M4 fully kitted is a monster weapon. Silencer and stock, the M4 is just... It's great for people like me who kind of can't aim, to be honest, because the AK does love to just reach for the sun and try and look for its own solar eclipse when you start shooting that thing.
Yeah.
But this is when you get your players like Break, for instance, who can control that spray. And as you mentioned, I mean, it does a hell of a lot of damage per bullet. And if you can control the spray, you can keep your reticle over the person's body, the AK will just totally shred people. So I'm with you, but yeah, I'm not very good at aiming, so I'll go for something that has a bit more stability.
Yes, but people underestimate even just like the flash hider, because it actually does change recoil on the horizontal, vertical, and general. It just doesn't change the spread change. It's not quite as drastic. Like the recoil pattern change is nowhere near as, I think it's like 15% less, something like that. But essentially, it's still pretty good. People underestimate the flash hider, but you're seeing a lot of players here obviously picking it up on a regular basis. They just know how to do it. It's a habit now. You can see them dropping in. So hopefully, this is the one that will actually get it working out. And we will be seeing these guys dropping in. I'm not 100% sure. I just see the no. I got my hopes up.
We'll get 1,000% confirmation this time round. Obviously, before we had a little bit of a hiccup at the start, but now we want to make sure that all the players are happy, everyone's happy at home. Again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. No matter what platform you're watching out there. Obviously, people on Reddit, I was speaking to them earlier on, getting some feedback and whatnot. The feedback has been great so far. A lot of show of support, a lot of feedback, a lot of critiques. It's what we need, because we want to give you the best viewer experience possible at home. It's a wild game to cast. Anything can happen at any moment. I think that just goes for the players as well. You need to be able to just home any situation that's kind of given you on a play. No red zone in play this time. It does kind of make it a little bit easy. Well, it's one less thing to worry about at least. But everything else that goes on in those later circles, it's just as manic.
Yeah, I think the big thing with PUBG is that it's a constant state of awareness. You can never actually let down your guard, which is always enjoyable. Like the amount of times you'll sit there and get frustrated at yourself because you kind of didn't check that house as well as you should have, or you didn't enter it as, you know, with a smart idea of how to breach it as you should have, or how many times you get caught off guard. And it just makes you kind of constantly aware of what's happening around you. And while we're waiting, I'm gonna have a little look at the hashtag, because you know what? There's nothing else to do.
You want to get people involved. We did say earlier on, make sure you use the hashtag Battlegrounds.
We're still seeing a lot of TSM support out there.
Yes.
Break predominantly as well. But keep behind Hayes. I like seeing Hayes getting the support too.
Tweet your favorite player right now. Use the hashtag Battlegrounds on Twitter, and we'll see if Panzer can bring some of those up, and we'll see where people are actually leading to. We'll read them out live on stream while we are waiting on this game number 2. Once the server is go, we'll get the map up. We'll see where people are going to be dropping in. Interesting circle on the previous one. Obviously, aiming upwards. People down, unfortunately, and military. But again, we saw the late play coming in from certain players. Try and approach to it later on. Make sure you got the meds, make sure you got the arm. Unfortunately for some, it didn't work out as they were taken down upon arrival. I really do fancy a melee circle. We've not had one yet. We didn't get one yesterday. I would love it just to end smack bang on top of military base and just see how this whole thing goes down. Anything, we haven't really seen much melee action, which if you're playing at home, you usually do, even for people going down there to loot because of where the planes have been. Do you think this is just how people are playing at this environment? They're not willing to kind of go out of the comfort zone, so to speak, and head down there. They just want to really play it safe and stay around the middle area?
Yeah, I just think that the reward system of not actually rewarding kills is going to discourage people from going for those plays. If you encourage people to stay alive, they're going to play for the low tier level loot in a slower aspect and then just play the circles as best they can. I think if you increase value on kills, people might go for the slightly more risky plays because you need the gear to take the fights. You saw TSM playing a way that they wouldn't normally do because of that. So looking at this, we are seeing the people starting to tweet it out. We've got some Ninja fans, Break fans coming in. The dude with the thick mustache. I think that's the cliche that you're going on about. Vicstar's still got a lot of support, but yeah, I've got to say, Break at the moment and the TSM guys are generally winning out here.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing tomorrow. Yeah, because you've got this. These are another team that very much say, all right, first person. We love a bit of first person. When you watch him Break stream, it's always first person. Him and Sacriel just gunning people down left, right, and center. He's a very, very vocal man about it and says it's one of the way forwards, like we do with a couple of the other players. You know, we look at Liquid, they're the same. They're saying first person, this is the way to do it. Tomorrow, for a lot of these people, it's kind of show up time, all right? You say this is the way to do it. You love playing this. You'll stream this. I'm really interested to see that transition to the LAN environment. It's kind of getting repetitive now. We're going to try and back off from it. But again, you're not at home. You're not at your PC. You've not got your monitor. You've not got the rest of the kit and your environment. It's a totally different and open environment. And remember, it will be first person. And we're still, again, going to have, we had them today. We had people qualifying. They're going to qualify through. So there'll be even more people injected into this. It will be an 80-man event. And once again, the prize pool will be, I believe it was $64,000, which it's an insane amount of money. It's it's $62,000 for the next 2 days, and then we top it off with a 180 grand tournament on the 4th and final day. That's insane.
Yeah, again, apologies, guys, if you are just wondering what we're waiting on. Just getting everyone into the game. We don't want to be talking any more about this stuff more than you want to be hearing us talk about it. But we are at the mercy of the PCs working and everything getting into the right place and getting in game. It looks like a couple of them are loading up here, but I don't know why someone's tabbed out where they're trying to load in. That's always going to go well. But we are getting closer, it does look like, as I'm looking on the players' screens, to maybe getting this one underway. So again, apologies. Hopefully this time it all works and we get into this and get it started so we can stop filling air.
Yes,
Be nice, wouldn't it?
There's a lot of pieces to this puzzle, right? There's a lot of people on site. We've got to get them all in the server. We've got to make sure everyone's playing on the server. Everyone's locked in. No one's crashed or anything. And we've got the PCs also. So we just need to make sure it's fair and everything is locked and loaded, which this time round, it looks like it is. 80 people are on the spawn island. Come on then, Pansy. Hit me with a prediction here. Where's the circle going to land? Give me a prediction. Where's the first circle going to go? What you feeling?
The first circle. So where do you want to just generally just say
throw
everything?
something out there. Let's get a random prediction. And if you do, I'll buy you a new pen back.
You owe me a pen anyway.
Right.
This is not negotiable. That's not how it works. I want to see Georgia Pole. We haven't seen that too much. Like the Georgia Pole Zaki northwest side. I'd like to see a bit of a fight on. Encourage people to go to the hospital, which you haven't seen much play towards. We saw a little bit of the western side of Georgia Pole being tried out last time. I think that was the first kills that came in, to be fair. So you can see the risk of it. I know it was Serenity and Oshi dying. I can't remember who killed them. But again, it is risky if you go towards that side of things. That's why it is a little bit of a hot topic if you go there or not in these environments. I'd like to see it personally. But we've got 28 seconds, so where do you think the circle's going to go?
Well, oh, you're asking me now?
Yeah.
Where do I think? I am going to go polar opposite. I'm going to say where I want to see it going, and that's Millie. I want to see it just slap bang straight onto Millie, and everyone just work their way down there. And kind of see how things goes. People are going to be able to pitch up at the bridges. They're going to be able to wait for people to actually move on in.
Hold on, Vikstars fans just finally appeared in mass. I don't know where they came from, but there's just like 30 in a row just going, Vikstar. Stone Mountain's got him out there. But anyway, we can start thinking about the game now. This is where it gets exciting. No more talking nonsense. We can look where that plane's coming through. So let's have a look at the route. So relatively similar to what we had before, but slightly more cadence towards the north.
Yep, indeed. It's going to be going at an angle, so we're moving in from Quarry. Pachinki's going to be there. Rosok's going to be right directly below it also. Yaznaya. Stalbert, but really, you don't need to be going for that. Saverni's going to be accessible. People are going to be able to look for these initial early cars, make their way down to Sosnovka Island, move their way into military. You know, Lipovka, it's also going to be there as well. You can dive out in. I know you're a big fan of Lipovka, and people can even move down to Milta, but we were speaking about Milta earlier on, whether or not it's the right choice, whether or not there's really good escape options. We're seeing a big cluster of people here. The apartments are in view, so is school also. We've not really seen any big battles going down. In fact, that is a big pocket of people. We'll see if they actually bridge off from one another and whether they split. But I think we could be seeing some early action. Few people dropping. Nobody going yet. Please don't prove me wrong. Is anyone going to Yaznaya? I'd be very surprised. I don't think they are. No one's going to go Yaz. So that's going to be open for looting if they wish. Same style, or same tactic perfectly before from Luminosity Gaming. 2 players, Ninja and Chipsy, moving down to Primorsk. They're going to be on their own. Steve-O's over there, just not too far from them. The other 2 players of Luminosity Gaming, more than likely, maybe trying to move across the bridge. If they can get a vehicle, make their way down to military base. Is anybody over at school? I'm seeing a big... Here we go. So this is over at apartments, just opposite school there.
Lower tier loot, but everything counts at this point. You know you're going into a quick battle. Yeah, Hodded's here. We know he likes this as well. We're going to see basically the winners of the last game going for this one. So they've gone for the high action this time. High octane, they did get the kills before, so I'm not going to doubt them. Hodded just on the other side. If they catch a glimpse, they can adjust for it accordingly. I don't know if they've got a rifle yet. Pistol, of course, in one hand. It might be a rifle or shotgun in the others. So we'll see if WTCN can start delivering like he did before. But Mithrin does need to get a little bit more loot to it. Maybe some armor, maybe a helmet, something more than a pistol. It's so hard to make this work.
And of course, at this shooting at that range with the rifle, if you've got the AR, because...
I'm happy seeing Georgia Pol being used this time. That could be good fun here. It looks as though we get a bit of hospital play. Georgia Pol South Town. We're going to see maybe even the crates used. And we're seeing the long swing coming in here from Moondai. Not too surprising. That was very much within the range. You'll land a little early on it, but you can make it down towards the garages. But I think there might be one other team coming here as well. One towards Big Red. And yeah, there it is. WTCN did find Hotted, so he was able to get this one done. That was the previous winner from the last game over the apartments.
That's kind of what I wanted to touch on, because it's more than viable. Because Hotted's not, we know for a fact Hotted isn't going to have any armor that early on. The AKM's just going to whitewash him, which is exactly what it's done. He's the first player, unfortunately, to be eliminated. We'll also see Obang working his way down to military. He's got his teammate in there as well, Tovilo. So look for these teams to potentially be matching each other rather soon.
This
2 over
nice
at the garages.
As well,
Yeah.
Not sure where this is. This is on Andy Pyro, so he's at school, so he's actually got great loot out of this. He's dominated this one. I don't know if there's anyone else there to challenge. That might be why it's good loot. So yeah, this is not your normal PUBG, is it? You're alone at school and you're just getting away with this. Great for him. He's going to be sitting pretty with that. Still hearing shots going off in the background, a couple of them pinging here and there, just about everywhere. And this is the Noble side. Oh
Vikster's
my word,
gone.
Vikster's
And
gone.
so he's Ollie, so early on.
Ollie, yeah, these guys are getting found early, maybe feeling a little more brave here, going for slightly more audacious plays, and look at this, pinch it in here. Noble might be in trouble.
I think there were 2 other teams there as well. No, he's got his teammate out on the wall as well, but he's just been very aware, just moving back and forth.
I don't think it is his teammate on the wall. His teammate's way further away. Yeah, it's not his teammate. He is in between both of them.
Yeah, that's my bad.
So this is problematic. He's got to hold his angle and hope his teammate can get there quick enough, because he doesn't know where the opponents are. He knows he's in trouble, though. You can see right now, Yunroot spotted out their teammate trying to come and help. He's going to hold his ground for now. He's going to spot it out and make the call. This is where communication is... Oh, what is going on here? Nice oh, that's a shot.
Excuse me?
That was absolutely beautiful, but does get destroyed in the end. The Noble guys are kicking off here over in towards that secondary power base, and those shots coming out from the Korean guys are outstanding. Yoonroot there played it so well. The range on that thing, I don't know if there was a choke on that or what, but that went a mile. The AK as well, quick push together. They've dominated Milta.
Dingus Khan comes straight off of the roof there, and as he does, he just hits the deck, lays straight down with the AKM in hand. Easy few kills for them, and now they'll be able to take mini Milta power on their own, get some good loot there, loot the bodies of the opponents that were there also, because they did have a fair bit of gear on them. We're looking over here at Anger's POV, over in Roz, move back down to military, and what do you expect? Nothing less. AKM, level 3 helmet, Moondye just running out towards the back bunkers there. He's got Lost Aiming next to him in the form of his teammate. They're just going to go and check outside.
So there was another team down there, though. So I'm curious if they're actually going to meet up. It looks like they've gone for the, like, isolated office, and you're going to see Moondye crossing over them. So we could have a battle going down in towards the industrial area. This is going to be fun. I wonder if they split them out or not yet. They might see an open door at the ATC. They might have a little bit of idea of what's happening if they get a giveaway, but they're splitting up. And that makes me nervous seeing this. Moondye's probably unaware. Lost Aiming could be walking in all alone and get traded out here with absolutely no cost.
Have a quick look at what's in this. MK14, plenty of ammo. Nice 8-time scope as well, so a decent care package there. Lots of people dying though. Ollie's gone, excuse me, that was coming from the previous one, but I did see a couple more at the bottom. 75 still alive, so we've lost 5 players. Rather early on, we didn't see a lot of engagements early in previous round.
Yeah, I think this is playing out more like a standard game to a degree. People are taking the risks you'd expect. At the moment though, I want to see if these two teams do eventually kind of collide. They could somehow avoid each other. That's certainly a possibility, but it's likely they're going to go towards Lost Aiming on his own. But Novo's about to kick off. We need to head over there. LG are moving in on a group. I'm not sure who they're with, but there's going to be shots, and I think the call's been made. Yeah, shots have come in on the military island. Novo's about to kick off. Keep your eye on that kill feed, because that's going to be coming in any second now.
Stick with Moondye for a few seconds, see if this fight does advance. If not, we should definitely move over to Novo, because those players, they were in cars, they're in vehicles. We're going to hear a lot of information coming in. And here it comes, one moving in on his side. It's going to be his teammate, Sud JP2 and Drassel working hand in hand. I'm not entirely sure who's actually down a Novo with them, but eventually going to see some open doors.
They're moving on as well. You can see them hunting through the town. I'm not sure if they're going to get there in time, but they're trying to get this one closed through. So one player going to split in towards the inner road that kind of leads between the crates and the, I guess, residential area. And if LG aren't aware, if they didn't see them on the way in, because they were the ones driving, they could be completely walking into a trap here and get caught out. A little undergeared too, level 1 helmet, no vest. Got a shotgun, got an Uzi, but he might be in trouble here if he gets spotted out, which they may be, but they're staying close, they're looting together, they're being pretty methodical, but this could be a huge issue if they aren't aware, because right on the other side, there's those shots coming in. We knew it was going to happen. Both of the LG players struggling there and getting picked up.
Yeah, both of them will drop, unfortunately. It all comes down to the armor that we're wearing. As you mentioned, Pansy perfectly, they had no chest. You're just going to soak bullets. There's 100% damage to the chest. They're just going to nail them, and that's exactly what happened. They are now eliminated from Novo. We move down to 73 alive. We move back up with Anger, who believes he's got someone in here, so he's just being very, very cautious, very careful. His teammate's in this house with him. Still, don't want to get too passive so early on. He's got a Dren right behind him as well.
Well, the main thing is the circle for them. They can hold this and watch the west and kind of southwest side of the push, because the circle, well, I guess north included, but essentially the more populated areas going through Roshok, because the circle's behind them, so they can watch, sit here. They've got good enough loot to take any fight they want, 2'd up. 1 rifle at minimum, shotgun as well at the moment. Anyone pushing back in from George or maybe Zaki, anywhere like that, they're going to see out. And if there's anyone in town, wait, are they going to find their own teammates? Lex and Flommer down there they are. So we've got the mythic fight about to happen.
This is going to be fun. So see some banner kicking off, as both of them will be meeting very, very soon. If we can bring the map up, though, just to show people at home and have a look exactly what's going down in the bigger picture. That's what we kind of need to know, rather than keeping an eye on people that are in the houses. So we've got Steve-O by that crate down there, but they're still not moving for it. You can see all the rest of the players in Roshok. We got 2 just going over the bridge, just to the side of them as well, in the form of THZ. Still down at the bottom, previous winners, just looting the entirety of those apartments. Now the bullets coming. You can hear the AKM, the information's coming. Shotgun is pulled out.
Oh, Anger! Nice work from Anger, and the close too. That wasn't even the teammates either. This is Drifter, who he's had a tough tournament, but if he can get this done, that would be huge for him. I'm not sure what armor. That looks like a level 1 maybe. Level 1'd up is going to be pretty tough. They weren't even expecting these players. They're waiting for their teammates almost to take them down, but Drifter now can screw him over. He could do this and be a real git about it all. Why not? Why not make it tricky? but the third person will always favor the guys at the top of the stairs. If he doesn't have a nade, he knows he's going to be playing with a disadvantage. This could be smart from Drifter, though. Oh, that's lovely. Good tag. And the follow-up. Nice work from Drifter. Goes out, gets the kill. That's his teammate avenged. That's good enough for him. What more can he do, though? Little anxious there from Anger too. He didn't need to push that. They could have used the top level of the ground to work it out, but Anger's doing the right thing. Excuse me, Adren up there is doing the right thing, but Drifter at least gonna make it hurt for the CS guys.
It was interesting. You wouldn't, if you knew someone were down there with a shotgun, you wouldn't just kind of walk into him. It's like he didn't know exactly where he was, so whether he thought he disappeared somewhere else, he will unfortunately fall, gives him the kill, and as you mentioned, revenges his teammate. Moving across now to Kick, a man who definitely has an awesome aim. We saw yesterday his work with the M24, just popping people left and right. Drifter thinks, okay, I'm getting bored now, it's time to move on. Shotgun in hand, will get the hell out of that. Just going to hide behind the wall, which is fine. Get himself to cover, but he does get tagged up. Now he moves into the building next to it, but look at the doors are all open. This place has already been gutted. Whether or not, though, it's just enough to at least get healed up, which is exactly what he's doing. He just got to keep an eye, because if Adren decides he wants to get aggressive with the AKM, he could. He's in a bit of a sticky situation. They're both in the opposite now. He's given Adren the better hand because it means Adren can actually get out. Did he just see him at the window? Or was that the wall? I may have.
Well, whether it's from the window or from the wall, he's going to be taking out the tires on the car. One shotgun shell left, though. I think there's someone on the table behind him, but yeah, that's the push coming in. It looks as though we're going to see a trade out. A little nervous here. That's Adren going for this kill. Individually very skilled, full medkit coming in. Not the full, obviously, HP, but there it is. Adren will avenge his fallen teammate and becomes the victor. He's going to have to move in himself soon enough. The circle not exactly there, but also his teammates have heard all of this. Lex and Flom are very nearby, but they're in between school, and this is the problem. Your back's to it. Get running, Lex. One shot is all it takes, and he is down. So that's going to be alerting Anger as well. This is Adren, excuse me. This is so scary now for Lex. Find a bit of cover for a second. One bit of a med, but there is still problems on either side. There's nowhere safe, and you can see Flom there trying to help him out as much as he can. Adren now has to play out. He's probably seen some of this going down and wondering what the hell is going on the outskirts of the town here.
I tell you what, he needs to be extremely careful. You saw how little he had. I like the play, though. Go in the toilet, get the information, look through the portals. That's exactly what he's doing. And again, he's now double stimmed up, so he's going to be able to get his health back at an extremely fast rate. We will see, however, Andy Pyro. He's going to take out one. Boom, though, knocked out Chappie. Chappie falls also. Dingus Khan will also take out Spygia and Yamanton. So 2 people going down. We're now down to 65 alive. Andy Pyro knows he does have plenty of information. There are people in this field right in front of him. So again, we kind of saw it previous rounds with the rocks. The cover is here, but you've got to make sure that you have your back covered as well, because there's also been the pan. It'll only cover your ass, quite literally. If anyone else decides they want to take you down from behind, unfortunately, you're just going to drop dead.
Wait, have you never had front pan action? I don't know, that hitbox a questionable one, but Adren's in trouble now. Rock in a hard play situation. Got a bit of ammo to work with, at least on the M4 for now. He might just be looking to use that for range. He does have an AK with him too, so a little bit to make something happen. But not much meds, and he knows that on the other side there's a couple of players. He saw the smokes go up. They're actually put down from Flom. And now he's going to try and find a way through this. Yeah, he's getting challenged here, up close and personal. He can lean this, though. He's got the cover. This is a really weird position from the other side. Oh, Lex!
Dirty.
Gets absolutely destroyed. Lex getting a little ahead of himself there, and Adren's going to be feeling good about that one, knowing that close by there's going to be Flom tapping away towards the windows. The teammate is close by, but is standing up to heal. He's prone blocked. Find a better angle, or does he go for the push? Both very brave choices, trying to read his teammates, his opponents right now. He can see them dodging in and out of the walls. Another connection, but not good enough. And every second that passes, his HP is getting lower and lower.
It's all this is going down, but they're still, unfortunately, inside the blue. Lex is still out. He's crawling inside. But look at this, Adren. He's not giving them any time or any room to breathe whatsoever. He's been super hyper-aggressive, which is exactly what he did in his previous kill. He doesn't want to let them get this team up, but it looks like they're just about to do that. Will he close the door? He's got eyes on them. If they poke, they're in a lot of trouble.
Does he have any more meds? I don't think he does. So that's the problem for him. He needs to go now, either run or take the fight. Now, nading out the car, again, if he's going to die, he's taking them with them, I can imagine. So smoke goes in. That could be covering, excuse me, the sounds of his steps if he wants to rush. I'm curious as to how he's going to do this one now. It's still ticking. There's the med kit. So he does have HP to go to. They've got the revive in. They're both back up. Can he single-handedly destroy the hopes of his teammates here?
It's a big gamble, but if he does, oh no, he's out. He's like, okay, well, I'll let you guys stick in there. I'll take your car. I'm just gonna get the hell out of here, and fair play to him. It doesn't. I mean, he could have took the fight, and AKM it does damage, but looking outside the windows, probably gonna try and get some shots off of him. Yep, Lex will chase him away, but now these two guys have got to run. They've got to get a wriggle on. They've got to make sure, but they are both double
They're
stimmed
pretty close as well.
Yeah, they're not too far off of it. Meanwhile, jumping on board with the TSM
Smack's
guys.
gone down. You just saw that. He's already been knocked down there, about halfway through his HP. This is an awkward predicament here for Vis. How's he meant to get him alive? He's so far away from being able to pick him up. So it's all the way around, and there's so many teammates everywhere. Yeah, you can see the kills coming through on the kill feed. Vis is trying to get back to it, but Cloud9 are hot on his heels, and oh my word, the circle's closing towards a bridge and Milta. This is deadly. Not on the Millie Island. A lot of people committed towards the Millie Island. 5 to 6 teams there specifically. WTC and the winner of last time with Mithrin as well. Again, that's a Car 98. Nicely led too. He could have maybe landed that one. He can see these players running in on the horizon. He's making these shots count as best he can, but he's being a nuisance, being a pest. Hayes has managed to find Smack as well, so the Liquid guys are kicking into this one.
Smack will fall, and that will leave his teammate, unfortunately, on his own. No scope on this Car 98, but as Pansy mentioned, trying to lean those shots, trying to get a decent one. One player moving all the way to the outskirts there. Is he just, looking for a boat? Oh, one person swimming though, as we see C9 try to take out another player. That's going to be solid FPS. Someone down in the water. You're hearing the bullets from his teammate as well. 2 ARs though, one for long range and then one just a single shot, one just to spray them down as they come along. That's going to be the AKM. Pan on back, level 2'd out of his mind. And they've also got a car. Should they feel the need, it's time to move and get the hell out of here. But Chappie, his teammate, unfortunately, he's dead, so he is a solo right now. Panda 117 will knock out a player also. Probably going to be looking for that easy loot as he works his way down on the beachhead. And he's picked up a crit Pansy. He's got himself an M24.
Yeah, always nice to have. WTCN, though, I think has just found Lex. We saw that coming in. We saw those Car 98 shots coming through. That was them trying to escape. Basically, what's happened there is Adren screwed over his teammates. He left them without an option, no car to drive in with, and they're running through right into the eyes of the opponents that we knew were waiting for them on the other side, playing from the wooden shed. And there's Andy now trying to find his way around. Actually, there's a real good shot here for him to maybe get some damage done.
Also, 117 is going to be creeping up between these two teams, so he needs to be extremely careful. Extremely careful. He does have the verge of that hill. Oh! Sweater! Sweater takes out TSM, comes in with the shot. Down you go, my friend. Viz is out. And we'll move back to Andy Pyro because this one's kicking off. There's one team in front of him, and then he's got the M24 to his left-hand side, so he needs to make sure that if he pokes his head, and there it is, he comes up. Will he get the kill? Goes for the spray down. Silencer in it as well. Can he get him before he goes behind the tree? Yes, he does. He gets knocked out, so his teammate's still somewhere, but I didn't actually see exactly where he is, so they need to be extremely careful. It's a big gun to lose if they take that out because but he's so diverse. I don't know where his other teammate is over there by the tree. You can see him. There he is.
Wait, no. What?
Yeah, it's really weird. There's 2 in front of him. There's 1 to the side, and there's 1 by the shack as well.
Okay.
There's 3 teams here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, is there 3 people playing? But the problem is now, if you look at it for Andy, he's in a good position.
Excuse me,
solid FPS isn't far away, but for Andy, he doesn't have that much ammo to work with. And here's the play now from Moo for Panda. He's been trying to get to his fallen teammate, but he gets taken down. Now it's going to give away there's more people here. Oshi and Emily, I think, just got picked up as well by Yoonroot over there. So the same guys just killed them again. That's the same as the first round here. Down to 57, though. Moo looking to try and bait out some of these shots, but there's too many players. This is very, very tricky to play out of. Although they're still in the circle, the next circle could screw over every player who's in the cover here to try and have to make their way through that open field. So again, Bob is still going to let down some shots, make them count, hopefully. Oh, and 8 times on the M24. This guy could really ruin some people's games.
I actually thought it was 117, but clearly it's not. Unless they got 2 care packages, I don't believe they did. This will be the M24 in play. So people, they know exactly where he is. They're going to be trying to scare him by pinging that tree. But he's also got to be careful because if he aims at one team, if he leans too far, the other one could be picking him up. So it's not a great position. If he has smokes, the best solution may be to put them down and just try and run out of this area. The circle's not in his favor. He does have to at some point get out of there, so why not try it early on?
Looking over at the Noble side. Boom, managed to take down Evermore. So Evermore this time dying out quite early. Not able to pull off the same strats before, it seems. Maybe the circles and the intention didn't work out as well. 55 now, good positioning from the Noble guys, right slap bang in the center. I actually like this house. I think it's not the one with the additional garage on the side, that's slightly further towards the, well, I guess, south side of this one, but there's going to be players everywhere. Players towards the farm, you've got the bigger compound on its own. Third personing the windows, and yeah, this is what I expect from these guys. This is the smarter play. Most of the Noble guys are up to this, so it's a good idea. you've basically got a lot around you to work with. It gets harder to cross out of it once the shots come in, but they're still really well geared. They can take this fight, they can do what they want. Got a UMP in case needed. They don't have that much, 7.6 at the moment, but more than enough to work with. So this to me is a good position, very centralized, but it will be pretty hard to contest this. Okay, because he's going to walk into the trap though. The terrain could be a huge issue. He's just about to go past the Noble guys. They're going to unleash hell. That UAZ is taking hits, and so is he. Down to half HP here, 30 bullets in the clip that he can't use, and the SKS just spamming away on those shots. Got the 8 times on it as well. Standing on top of that Noble logo. He knows he's doing some damage here, but still, Prone's back down. He's given away his position a fair amount. Doesn't want to outstay his welcome.
But they're trying to get rid of that cat. He will only take 30 bullets from a 7.62 weapon, and unfortunately, it will get blown up. But they have survived. They have packed up kicks, half shields, half health whatsoever. His teammates there as well. So they are going to be able to stay alive and take a compound for their own. Now things could get a little bit more interesting as people do get inside this circle. It's a very... There's a lot of houses, a lot of compounds in this circle, so it could be rather interesting.
See, I like these finishes. These to me are good. They're good fun. They play well to any setup you want to use. If you have still got a shotgun and a UMP and you're in that predicament, you can still make it work. You can play through Milta, you can play through Farm, you can hope for the best. You just got to wait for them to get to you. But we're going to see some swimming here, all right? There's a lot of teams that need to get across this. We still got that stalemate situation happening on the Rock side as well between some of the Cloud9 players going on. They're in a really awkward spot, but now we're going to see a little bit of play coming through here. They're still working their way in. Oh, that's going to be a spray down. That should be a connection and a half. That might have been WTCN, actually. I'm kind of curious if it was, because he had the he had the Car 98 on him as well. Looked like they're getting out of the position that I expect them to be in. But now we're going to see the run-in kind of happening through here. People might be watching this angle, but they should be relatively well set. They should be in a good... Yeah, it was WTCN moving out of that position. But there's other players close by, and they gave away their spot here. But he did shoot, if I'm not mistaken, with the Scar with the suppressor on it. So he's kept some of that positioning up in the air, not giving too much away. And he's going to play in late on this hill, which is a nice idea. You keep your eyes behind you towards the north. And yeah, there's WTCN. There's the buggy we saw going past. They're in good cover.
Running double Scar as well, one with an 8 times, one with a 2, so he can get people up close and personal, or he can try and take some fights at ranges. Is that? Yes, it is. So he's just hiding in the defilade there. Will creep up. Will he go for a shot, or will he just hold back for a second? You might as well, because there's no point in giving away your position, right?
Well, he can use them as the budgie right down in the bloody coal mine. Just send him forward. Does anyone shoot at him? No? Okay, that's a safe route we can work with. As long as they don't lose eyes on him, it's very, very viable. We're going to see the switch up there. Suppressor put onto the other gun. Now he can try and adjust key. I think he might have lost a little bit of tab. No, he spots him by the tree down towards the south. Switches back over, sees them both. Now it's time to engage. 1, 2 shots hit. The third's there, but now they're in trouble. That's Xeon down. The Scar is connecting. Nice work as well. This is good stuff.
And he's going to run with the circle as well, but will the player pop out and poke and try and hit him? But he was all kind of damaged. There's no real... If you poke out and you do get one shot again, you're going to unfortunately go down. Now he'll lean with the opposing Scar.
Oh, that's gorgeous
and
work.
He's got the 2 times on it for that up-close and personal battle. Holds his ground, uses the spray, annihilates him down in the kill feed. You'll also see Sevilla knocking out one. Julia goes down. Mithrain taking out Gassy Mexican also. Gassy Mexican can't... They're not actually shooting him, they're literally just going to use him as bait right now.
It's cruelty, isn't it,
It
really?
really is.
Obang there in a little bit of a battle as well. Close quarter combat, but he needs to move too. The circle's still okay for him now, but he's got a long way to go to the next one. That's the big problem. We are going to see Mithrain as well unleashing. He did manage to find Curvy Llama, so that will mean the Gassy Mexican is killed. Shots so ringing true here. Stylish Noob has found a Dren who's been on causing trouble earlier. So he's still fine. They're still getting on. Let's look at that next circle. You saw the player just checking in on it. He knows he's got a long way to go. Right now, Stone Mountain being caught outside the play zone. We're having a lot of issues here, it seems.
A lot of people dying.
Unroot's finally gone down as well.
Unroot, Boba G knocks out Daji as well. Boba G does get taken down himself by a 6M4.
This is Moleman as well. The guy's moving. I like watching this guy because he's so awkward to hit. He will never stop moving. Whether he's spamming QE, whether he's wazdering around, he makes it so tricky to use a Car 98 against him.
Just about to say, these are one of these players that you were talking about, high end. No matter what, we've got a sniper rifle, he's just bobbing, weaving, ducking, diving, doing everything. Even when you're looting, you'll see people moving left and right, making sure they're not a stud target.
But
because
look at the water. There's 3 to 4 players closing in on the coastline. Now, Liquid are okay for now. They have some cover, but there's a lot of problems coming through if they actually get pushed by players on the coast. So right now we're going to see them going back to the Rive here. Whitey Dude's just been knocked out, so hopefully he can get his teammate get him back up here, but there's going to be a lot of problems on that coastline. There's nowhere safe right now. The shots still come through. Not sure where they're coming from. He's going to have to leave his teammate to die. Zigzag away, get that serpentine going. And he still has no idea where this opponent is. Another hit comes through. One more. Might just seal the deal. No, it's a lower caliber. There it is. Mid-thrain again. This guy, he's a beast. I'm so impressed watching him. And here comes the beach problem, right? A lot of players closing on the beach, and we knew that Liquid were just behind, but yeah, here we go. Stuck in the water here. Moo's going to make this very uncomfortable for the player trying to work their way in. They're stuck in the blue. As soon as they get towards that coastline, they know they're in trouble.
And of course, if he gets in trouble himself, he can back off and go underneath water. Scoom will take down. Looks like Moon Die 7's also fallen there. We are on the point of view with Moo. He's just trying to take dink shots at this player outside of the circle. He's going to be getting damaged very soon. Turns around, sees the car explode, and now he knows that himself, he's actually a rock between two. This is going to be rough because he's out in the open. Fair enough, he can go in the water, but he's still got to make his way out of there, Pansy. If he does, he's going to be running the beach, and people are going to just be homing down on him.
Yeah, but the problem is here now with Liquid. Excuse me. They're running out of full meds. So they've got a lot of boosters, a couple of bandages, but no big med kits, nothing like that to play on. And again, I can imagine the Noble guys are still pretty good. They're in the houses, they're still inside. Yeah, they're going to have to move in soon enough. They've already kind of shimmied in a little, but look at this close on the coast.
Wow.
What is going on? Everyone's swimming across.
The pool pie.
All right, this is going to be shooting literally fish in a barrel for Liquid if they realize this, but who'd believe it? Is that a boat still up by Hayes as well? He could jump in and out of that and cause absolute havoc. He could be the detriment of Liquid, but they might move into the buildings. They might say, screw this. I'm having none of that. Screw any of this sort of laugh. Get into the car, drive off into the horizon, and never look back. But maybe they won the fight, maybe they won the loot, and maybe they're completely unaware of this being a possibility. Scoom's about to look, and he could find out something horrible looking over there.
Momina takes that stutter down in the kill feed.
Is Hayes about to just get someone in the boat, please?
Imagine. Sweater dies outside the zone. Mazrini was knocked out also. Borg then falls outside the player zone as well, so
Panda
2
player's
C9.
just to the right. Is that boat still up as well? This could be huge. So Hayes is going to try and play the boat a little bit here.
Play, though, not
now
YOLO
look, he
it.
spotted them both. He knows they're both there now. Goes up and down, just takes a little bit of breath. Moo's still doing this as well, playing this game of just keeping them pinned into the water. That's going to be a problem down the line. You can't really play much out of it, but he's going to spot these players. This is a huge coastline battle that really will play so nicely for everyone else in the tournament going, screw it, we'll just stay in the buildings. Let these guys play it out. We don't need to be involved.
In the meantime, Moo's just playing duck on. He's got an M24. He's just going to try and find these faces that do bump up for breath. But no one's really doing it, and you can see, I love the play. He's just ducking every single time, making sure that he keeps his body as close to that water as possible so that he can run in and get underneath. Mazzarini has finally died, so we are into your top 36. 2 players do fall swimming.
Okay, in the next circle, in 42 seconds, there's almost no massive amounts of cover. So for them, it's going to be very tricky. Now, Hayes could do the, the quote-unquote, no one likes it, Grim-style, crouch bug almost where you can shoot underwater. You can see, I think Moo's looking for it there, but it's really awkward too. I don't know if it's going to be allowed in this. Prove me wrong, I'm really not sure. But again, it is viable at this point if you want to use it. 36, though. This is why the coastline becomes interesting, because there's a little bit of terrain to play with. There's some defilades, there's some bits and pieces you can make happen, but mostly I really don't want to be watching this guy just pinning people into the water. Please find someone else to look at. Let's at least keep the guys on the ground in the camera shots here, because at least they're playing it the way it should be. Scoom still doing work. Stylish Noobs found another, and we're going to see this pinch happening now. They're going to have to move out of this area pretty soon. That's when the beach becomes a problem for themselves, but they have a vehicle. They're able to move when they can. I can imagine Scoom's like, get in the damn car, but the TSM boys, they're coming past. They are just flying through this one. They want to get in the water themselves. They know how this works, but they need to get under the water to make it count. And this is the end, isn't it?
This is insane. They're all just running to the water, run to the beaches. I mean, it's going to turn into an absolute mass murder fest when they all start to come out of there. People just going to... The thing is that the people, in theory, the people who are sitting up on the coastline should be the winners of this. I don't physically see how you can make it out of the water, up the beach, when you've got no cover whatsoever, unless you have a disgusting shot.
They're playing for positioning. That's what they're doing. They're playing for positioning in the overall victory. Now, there's still room in this, but it's just completely open. There's kills everywhere. No one's going for this. No one's going to go for the AWM in the middle of a field, let's be honest. Unless you're mental. Maybe they are.
Be a ballsy player.
This is great, though. I actually like this positioning coming out from these two players here. They're in a good spot as well. They can play their way back in. They're not just playing on the coastline. Scoom's actually gone down, so that's a huge problem here. It seems like the Liquid guys have had a little bit of an issue trying to come back over from the coast. There's a tiny bit of land that's left in the water, but it does mean that all the players will have to beach. I don't think it's deep enough for them to actually be able to sit around on this one. So it does seem as though Cake's still finding kills on the beach. Cake by the ocean, of course. Why not?
Don't
you laugh at my puns.
That's
a banger of a shot. He just got completely denied.
Expect that. Does have to fall back, though. Where's his teammate? Is he going to get inside and grab him up? Now we're going to see Bang try and blow these boats up. The grenades are coming in. He knows that there's players behind there. There goes one. Good. Will the grenade find anything behind it? No, it will not. But they can just catch a glimpse of the player. It's done enough to at least get the information.
He's opening up possibilities to escape that area. If there's a player still in the boat, they can just accept their death and then kill two, and that'll get them better on the ranking. So he's playing smart to try and give them longevity. But Flum's now gone down as well. TSM still in this one, still kicking, it seems. But this is a nice fight. Cape with a spray down, trying to get the players off of that crate that's right in the middle of the open. And you can see the connections coming through, but somehow someone just died from falling.
Bang.
Maybe a nade. That could have been it. A nade can just project a player and make them die there. But we're down to 23. This is a very small circle. When this blue starts moving in and pinching in, there's going to be a hell of a lot of deaths here, and it's all going to be the players on the coast. And they're all knocked out. This is so awkward. This is not it, is it?
What? How do you get out of this one? Ninja still inside the water. Chips is behind him also. Solid FPS outside the circle now. Will be getting his held up any second. THZ, Boba knocks out one. He goes down. Who's that going to be? That's actually going to be Kick. Now he's in no man's land. Look to see him go down any second. Trying to get him, which he does.
He's got to leave his teammate, though. Yeah. He has to just go. There's no stopping now. He has to get into the circle. Lovely control on the full spray, though, using the crouch modifier there. 4 times up. Here we go.
Look at all
the
those
AK
people.
distance. But they're going to be in trouble. They have to get out of the water. They can bop and weave for a little bit, right? But not for long. I can't read the kill feed because that's not very... I hate this.
What?
It's like the community pool that your mum used to take you to. It's horrible.
Oh, God. I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see how this one pans out. But Dingascan, in the meantime, he's going to put a bike in front of himself, so he's got some sort of cover, and he'll just keep popping shots left and right, hoping to try and take out a little fishy as they're coming out of the water. Meanwhile, in the kill feed, Mumino, he will fall to dazed also.
All right, they've got to leave the water. The pool party is over, ladies and gentlemen. Get out of the water, take off the water wings, and get back into the damn fight here.
He's been...
That is Khan, yeah. He's getting caught here.
It depends where that one's coming from. It'd be interesting to see who's actually got an angle on it. If we can look at the observer mode, I'd like to see who else is actually outside waiting for the people, because it's the people on the outside that are going to be the most important in this. They're going to let those other people that are inside the water actually come to... Andy Pyro may just... If he gets touched by that circle, he's going to be falling down. He's somehow managing to stay alive, and he does just tread water over there, but they're all treading on a very fine line here. Dingascan will think, okay, time to move, boys. 1, 2, 3, 4 people still swimming about. Make that 5. Butts is in there as well for the party.
Do you remember in Battlefield 4 you could get the shark to come out of the water?
Just take them all.
I'd really appreciate that right now if we could make that happen.
How many? Still, it's the noble guys that are interesting, because there's 2 of them, there's a pair of them, and they still here right now have this ground. Brick will fall, so will Moo as well.
Nice work.
What a shot.
This is beautiful work from Daz. This is what I expected from him on like day 1, day 2. This guy is a beast. All right, so they're dying out of the water. They're just accepting their fate. And now he's going to try and blow up basically the car. It is going to take a while with the UMP, but he's going to get the kills from the others. Also coming in, Outsider's been killed. His teammate just goes down. He hasn't been spotted, but look at this. Yuki on the flank as well. Great positioning. Playing the edge of the circle, moving in from the more northern side. Going to get the drop towards Daz. He goes down. It's down to the 1v3. And now Yuki nades out. He doesn't know where's safe, what's not, where the angles are. Oh, he gets caught on the side. This is a problem. It's Outsider. Bit of the underdog here. Going to spray into one. Oh, he gets taken down. I'm pretty sure it's Yuki still standing. Who else is in this? We need to find it. It's going to be Yuki winning it. There it is. Nice work from Yuki turning that one on its head.
Stuff. Just standing his ground on the edge there, waiting till everyone else kind of had the pool party, was shooting each other, turned up, does bag himself 5 kills as well. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. He's going to bag himself 500 points plus 5 kills worth as well. That's really going to rank him and his team up those charts now. Great work from him. We didn't really see too much. We're looking at the kill feed and we're keeping an eye on these players that were in the water, the ones that were trying to pick them off. He kind of sat back, let the action unfold, and then turned up most when it mattered most, and he will, of course, bag himself the win. Round number 2 goes him and his teammates' way. Interesting ending. Very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, so this still includes the first game. Yeah, so high kills coming in there for WTCN and Mithrin, even though they didn't finish, you know, well, they still finished pretty highly, to be fair. They still played really, really well, but the kills certainly coming into effect for them, still retain their first place. Yuki coming through as well with that win, starting to get himself in there, but also good kills. Outsider and Butts, not too surprising, get themselves into this one, knowing how to play this. At the moment, they're keeping themselves mentally in this. Luminosity showing up as well. Cloud9 in there. Daz and the Noble Boys getting good positioning, certainly providing in this matchup.
TSM still in the top 10 as well. Liquid will just get edged now into 11. Vikstad's up there as in 12 as well. Big shout out to him. And
Big
then we
Star's been
see
playing well,
Big
like
Star's
Loki
been playing
well.
really, really well. And we saw a lot of love for him on social media. Remember, we want to hear your guys' thoughts, your guys. Tell us who you're looking forward to. Who do you want to see this thing? Use the hashtag Battlegrounds. We are listening. We'll try and get some retweets. We'll try and read some messages of support for your players out here on the desk. But I mean, in comparison, right, you just look at these circles and where they go, it's kind of night and day. You know, how many people, maybe 5, 6, 7, died from being outside the zone? They're just really slowly wandering in from the circle, just completely wiping them out.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, that was one of the games that, you know what, I'm going to look to the others for prime examples of nice play and teamwork. But at the end of the day, the players in the water didn't win it, so that makes me very, very happy. But I do believe we are actually done here. We can head down for an interview to hear from the winners down on the floor.
Yes, indeed. I am here with Yuki and THZ from Team Swiss My Baguette, who were actually the very first team to qualify from yesterday. So they're not one of the invited teams. They came and won game number 2, first place. How is this feeling for you? You came in from the qualifiers. Did you expect to get first place against all these teams of such prestige that they got invited here?
Well, honestly, the minimum we have planned is to be qualified in the qualifier. And then once we're here, of course, if you can do a good game and show good moves, that's better. But the main goal was to be qualified. And really, well, right now we have done the great moves, and we can hope maybe for a good place.
Yeah, I mean, you've made a name for yourself already. Now, have you attempted to qualify for tomorrow's games as well, the first-person duos?
No, because it was too late. We were out yesterday evening and we received the mail too late, so we just went to sleep and we prefer to focus on this tournament instead of doing the qualifier and maybe not even being qualified, but play 4 hours for the qualifiers and then again 4 hours for the main. So we just focus on this one.
No, it is definitely important to make sure that you're not tiring yourself out. You're already in this event, and I keep bringing it back to it, but you got first place, so that definitely shows something. Are you planning on trying to qualify for squads, or is it just the 2 of you doing duos?
Well, actually, he got a team, and I've got another one. But the thing is, when I started playing with him. I watched him on stream, then we started playing together, and we did some duo tournaments. And the fact is that he was the only one I could do the tournament with. Because we got this synergy, you know, and this team play that I got with no one else for now. So when we had the occasion to qualify, we said, let's go.
Well, good luck to the both of you for qualifying on the events for squads. However, onto this game itself, we saw up until the very final circle, there was so much water in play. And if you know Battlegrounds, if you've watched enough, you know that anyone who is in the water, they're safe for a while, but once they try and come out, it's just a complete bloodbath. Were you guys part of that bloodbath? Were you taking them out, or were you guys more waiting until the end and just pounce when you knew you could get the win?
Actually, we asked ourselves, do we have to go in the water or not? Finally, he called me to stop in the house next to the water, so in the yellow house, then in the bigger house, and we just wait there, and it was the good call after all. But yeah, I'm not the kind to get into water often because it's too dangerous at the end. Really, it's. So there's most likely only 1 or 2 teams who goes out of water and survive in this situation. And sometimes there's 10 or 20 teams in water in some tournaments.
Now, again, on the circle, though, is this area, like around, just like a little west of Milta, around the bridge, on the beach area, is this a comfortable place for you? We know that some players have different preferences on the map of where they really like to play. Was this more within your comfort zone, or was it just way out of your comfort zone, playing way out of the box of where you're used to, of what you're comfortable with?
Honestly, it was out of the box for us. We really don't like the beach. We took a little hole in the ground, and he was like, I'm not hidden, it's not cool. And after all, the guy to our left didn't see him, didn't see me, finally killed him, and we did Oh, yeah, the best we can, and it worked.
All right, well, congratulations, both of you. We're going to go to one last break before we head over to game number 3. It is still anyone's game at this point, so you definitely don't want to miss this final game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Gamescom Invitational 2017. We are now moving into game number 3 of our third-person's duo event. And one very interesting thing was kind of just thrown a spanner in the works, Pansy. We've just seen a squad turn up, qualify, and win the event. This isn't one of the teams that we've actually flown in directly.
No. They're
now just coming out of the blue and showing these guys how it's done.
Well, they were never in the blue. You know, they were one of the teams that actually weren't in the water.
She's good.
But no, yeah, we're seeing great things coming out from the teams who've qualified here. We saw Outsider and Butts doing very well. They're also within the top 10 currently. Great seeing the other teams coming in as well and just showing that this is a tournament where anyone can do well in it if they turn up and they play the right style. They went through the qualifiers, of course, doing well enough there, made it to the main tournament and shown what players can do.
Do you think everyone turns up to these tournaments and has a game plan, or is it always a matter of assessing the map first and saying, okay, where's the route going to go, where are we going to get dropped off first, and then discussing them amongst themselves? Or do you think a lot of people will come into this with a plan of attack, how they're going to approach every single map?
They'll have preferences, sure, but you have to be able to adapt and change on the fly just purely because of that circle being the way it is and how the game pans out. Also, the trajectory of the plane could change everything completely. You can have an intention, you can have an idea, but as said, you've got to be able to be adaptable on the fly and be able to change things up.
Okay, well, we're going to get this server rocking and rolling as soon as possible, guys. We had a few glitches and hitches earlier on, but enough about that. There's everything on the line. We saw a couple of tweets coming out from some of the players ranking where their positioning is. There's still a lot to play for. This is anybody's game. We saw yesterday in the solos, a lot of players were putting themselves up by constantly finishing in the top 3, the top 4, and making themselves kind of away from the pack, so to speak. But I tell you what, now there is a very close battle at that top end. Could we potentially be seeing a team that has just qualified, that have just come out of the blue, and they're now at the top? Who knows? Will we see TSM up there? Will we see Luminosity? Will we see Cloud9, Liquid? Will one of those guys be bagging themselves a win for their respectable organization? Well, we're going to be finding out very, very soon. I want to touch back a little bit on our previous round. However, a little bit of a slower one towards the end. Complete diversity to what we've seen in comparison to any other matches, I want to say. But still, the late game coming out of the winners of that one, just kind of holding back for a second, holding the ground and saying, okay, I'll approach this when it's the right time. I'll come in at the very, very end and just clean up duty, mopped it up.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't see one of the water teams actually winning it. If I'm honest, you know, it is viable. It gets you to a high position. I understand why people do it, but it doesn't mean that we enjoy watching it, right? It's just like, well, it's a bit cheesy. So for me, I prefer seeing the teams who play outside of it, who played the north side. It was good seeing Daz and the Noble team play the way
I thought they were going to win it.
Yeah, me too, but they got flanked. It was a really good reposition coming in from the guys who qualified to come to this. So great work from them. WTCN and Mithrain still maintaining that first place though overall.
44 kill points as well. We'll look down the board. 32 and 32 for C9 and Noble, respectively. Liquid's down there with 12, and so is TSM.
Pretty sure this is just the first game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
that's just the first game. That doesn't include the second round. So that's just recapping what we already saw. TSM still up there, of course. Overall tournament should be different because it will include the other guys. WTCM will still be very much up there. They had a very good game in the second, still very high on the kills. You saw them ruining some people's hopes and dreams. I think Hotted actually was at the end suffering from them. He got completely destroyed by a shot from the apartment to the school with an AK with no scope on it. So that was really, really impressive actually from WTC and the teammates. So I think Hotted tweeted that out so you can get it on his Twitter.
But you can also, on the opposing side, all right, it's a good shot to kill someone when at that range, but when you've got no armor, when you don't have a vest, when you don't have a helmet, and someone's shooting you with a 7.62 weapon, it just hits like a tank. You know, what is it, 48, 49 points per bullet?
Something around that marker.
It's 2 bullets and you pretty much rip, unfortunately, especially if they tap you in the head. It's a 250% damage coming out of those. It's an instant death. So when people are nailing at that range, hey, anything's possible. But we are going to be going into game number 3 very, very shortly. Thank you guys at home for sticking with us and bearing with us. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you this, not just today, for the next 2 days. Also, make sure you tweet the stream and also tweet us your thoughts, who you're gunning for out there, and use the hashtag Battlegrounds. But for now, we're going to go down into the pit where Cameron is standing by with another player. Cameron, over to you.
Thank you very much. I am here with Forzen and Jari from Team Never Lucky. Do you two want to introduce yourselves, tell the community who you are, what you do?
Yeah, so, I mean, pretty much clarifies it in the name, really. We're Team Never Lucky, and guess what? We're never, ever lucky.
Never lucky is like an Hearthstone expression. it comes from. So I used to play Hearthstone. I used to cry about never being lucky, so it kind of fits.
And you two are streamers, correct? That's your main background right now. What's it like being surrounded by a number of other streamers as well, but also playing with esports pros? How is that experience?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit strange because this isn't something that I would usually be invited to because, again, there's so many pros in it. So it's kind of tense. I feel like I'm on the kind of the bottom level of the players here, so it's really scary.
Well, I mean, I played top 100 EU ladder solo, and this is completely different. Like, the skill level is insane. These teams are incredible, like way better than I expected them to be, but it's more fun because then it becomes more of a challenge, right, whenever you play against them.
Okay, and how long have you guys been streaming Battlegrounds?
I mean, I've been streaming Battlegrounds since it was in the beta.
I think a couple of months, maybe.
What excites you about Battlegrounds? What brings you into Battlegrounds as compared to any other game? You said yourself that you used to be a Hearthstone streamer. What is it about Battlegrounds that keeps drawing you back to that game?
I guess with Battlegrounds and with games of its type, it kind of gives you this adrenaline feeling when you're in the final kind of circle, and I like that feeling about it. And I like that you don't have to be the best player to reach that final circle. There's still like an RNG element and as well as a skill kind of part.
Yeah, I mean, I like that it's not CSGO deathmatch where everything that matters is kills. I like the strategy part of it. It's probably the reason I'm sticking around because there's so many more strategies that aren't even found yet that could be really, really good, and it's interesting to see how the game will develop.
Yeah, all right. Well, I wish both of you good luck on the next match and let you go back to computers, get set up, because we're about to go back into the final game number 3 of third-person duos at Gamescom for ESL Invitational. Back to you, Sims and Pansy.
All right, then, let's get this thing underway. Remember, guys, we want to know who you're gunning for. Who are you backing? Who are you supporting? Pansy does have Twitter open. Make sure you use the hashtag Battlegrounds. We'll get some of the names up on there, see who the people out in the live stream are supporting. And for everyone out there as well, doesn't matter where you're watching, thank you very much for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to be bringing this to you once again. Make sure you tweet the stream. Make sure you use hashtag Battlegrounds. Let's get everyone in. Let's get a ridiculous amount of viewership once again, and let's send this third and final duos third-person match out with a bang.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I think we're seeing some good play so far. I think, obviously, I'm a little tilted after the way that last one closed out. I'm not going to lie to you. I play this game myself, and you said it's like, really? that's how it ends. But we got to see some great plays. Good to see WTC and Mythrain really coming into their own. They've been outstanding for me. Great to see the guys who just turned up. What a Cinderella story for them. They've just pocketed a great deal of cash too if they really grind out this last game. So for me overall, it's super imperative that they play it well and play it smart. But this is when they will get nervous, they will get a little scared. You don't want to make errors. You just want to place well. But this could also encourage the players who need kills as well and good position.
And look at him. There's Victor, very, very happy. They're just right behind. We believe they're just right behind us on the wall. So
yeah.
There's quite a lot of support here for these guys as well. We were looking earlier on at the Twitter feed and stuff. Quite a lot of support out there for the content creators and the YouTubers, and of course Twitch streamers, everybody else. And this kind of, I know we keep repeating it, but it really is a celebration of everybody. We haven't just brought the pro players out here to experience this. We've brought a variety of people, and then we've let people from the floor just jump on in. They've got to qualify, they've got to go through the rankings, and the same thing for tomorrow. There's $62,000 on the line here, and people can queue up and they can play for their share of it. Hell, they can even win it. They can be walking away with the grand prize. But it looks like the server is live with 2 more people to join, and we are rocking and rolling. You see your screen there as well, esl.gg/PUBG raffle. There are some very, very, very nice prizes up for grabs. I do fancy one of those 1080 Ti's myself. Make sure you enter there over again, esl.gg/PUBG raffle.
Forever doing social, aren't you, Sims? Can't get away from it.
No, it's one of those things that comes with being a caster. You've got to do it. You've got to. And unfortunately as well, when I'm not a caster, I'm just in the dank meme room.
Yeah.
Creating and generating as we do.
Right, 42 seconds. I hope we get just somewhere slap bang in the middle of a field. So we get a bit of everything. We get the snack play. We've got the, pool party play coming in. We've had it all today. This is what I'm after. I want the real variety. But 30 seconds now left For me, it's keeping eyes on who fights incredibly hard to get themselves into a position where they can still do well in this, because a lot of them will need kills now to come in for them. They will also need a good positioning. So it's getting that balance right and trying to provide the best action they can and you know, be smart about this. So it looks like, again, because Victor was on the screen, all of his fans have just gone crazy. So it's kind of hard to get around that.
It brings in a good audience. And you know what? I'm going to hold my hands up. He's doing a hell of a lot better than what I expected. Sometimes you just can't predict how people are going to do and how they're going to transition, especially with people that play a variety of games and don't really stick to one genre, so to speak. Looks like the player has left the tarmac. Let's see where she comes in from. And she's coming in from up north, beyond the wall. Straight in down the middle.
This is going to encourage melee base for me. I want to see teams actually going to the military base. It's been very tentative on it, but it's basically the whole map's open. You fly over the vast majority of the likelihood of spawns for cars as well, which is around Roshok. There's 3 there. You can basically go wherever you want on the map. At any extremity on the map, you will be able to find a car, whether it be the one near Yasnaya, whether it be the Milta one, you can fly that far. So this means everything is up for grabs. This is the game I want to be seeing. This is the spawn that can really get us some fun. Who's going to go for the BDP of getting to the military island?
So straight off the bat, we saw Luminosity Gaming. They just dove straight out and straight down. Evermore running on the coast. I wonder if him and his teammate will be moving potentially over to Spawn Island like they have been doing.
We've got some melee base. This is going to make me happy. This is what I want to see, of course. We've got about 4 teams. LG have actually backed from this. They're going to go to Ferry Pier and play around the side. I think you've got Oshi 7 there. I see Serenity, Mazzarini, and who's that on the very edge of things?
Guys.
So the Liquid guys are going to play the edge side in, which is fine. You could easily split the military base between 2 teams, and they kind of polarize it. We'll see where they choose. Mazzarini heading towards that big red apartment side, it seems, with his teammate. And Oshi 7 maybe go towards Industrial. They can go towards Novo. They could split that far. There's loads and loads of options available for these guys, depending on how they want to play it. Again, looking around him, it does seem as though these guys will be getting the apartments under wraps. That's theirs for the taking now.
I like what they did, though. Obviously, take a look around, make sure that no one's going to be landing on a rooftop.
Outsiders just got knocked out as well. That's huge. He was a player within the top 10. Him losing out this early is a massive, massive issue for him. So again, that could then hinder their entire run through this tournament, unless his teammate steps into gear now.
Well, he hasn't actually fallen yet. Fully. That's insane. That
was a pistol kill. So.
It was. I'm just going out so early on like that. It's a huge detriment, you know, to your team because you're at 50% capacity. Your teammate's gone, and
so we still got people parachuting here as well.
On the right-hand side.
Yes, Naya is busy, isn't it? We've got the Panda team up there, Lex is up there, Moondice, Aquisha, Julia. We've even got people driving into it. Xeon's coming in. This is going to be very busy. You can see that kind of east push coming out, still people in the parachutes. They can probably reach to about the prison, and then they'll have to land. You can see the guys who've got the car race winning. Boba's on that. He's going to be able to get up towards the likes of Lipovka early, maybe Milta if they fancy it. But oh, Lord, the late drops coming through could be dangerous. That's a scary one.
They're going to be in for a bit of a treat as they land, unfortunately. It might not be the better end of a treat as well. Long flyers coming in. Cross and Drifter working with, they've got a Mac with the look of it, a little Uzi, and a couple of handguns as well.
I prefer where Panda guys went. It's more time-efficient looting, the rows of houses like that. I think we all know that you can go through them very quickly. You're likely to get ARs, UMP, you know, anything like that. You can generally walk away quite nicely out of them. And there's a good few of them back-to-back. But look at this spread. This is really weird. Evermore, it might be in some trouble here. Have a look at this. Is Ollie and the boys going to run up on them eventually? I'm curious if that happens. Keep an eye on that in the back of your minds. We also have a bit of a battle down towards the Milta Bridge as well. Cloud9 getting a little bit of a glimpse on the cars kind of going through there. That's going to be Sweater keeping tabs on this one. But yeah, this is very, very busy in an area that isn't normally this rife, but you can see everyone trying to get these compounds. A couple of shotguns. That's pretty Borg just letting him fly. Maybe trying to get a connection or two, and it was him down to 3 left in the chamber. And now he's going to go back, maybe get some high ground, hope for a little more loot.
Try and scare him off, or his teammate Sweater will move up pretty much across from him in the next compound, try and get some gear, see what's around here. Picking up a suppressor. In fact, he left it was for the handgun. Level 1 vest there, but he's only got one on as well as a helmet as well. Shotgun in the back pocket. Just generally wandering around. Going to move in the UAS because the compound's completely done, including the garage. But Lex knocked out Cross. UMP, excuse me. He's trying to run away. Flom says, no, you are not running away, my friend. You are going down. And down he goes. 77 remaining. Chase, there's so much sometimes left to be said to chase a kill, you know, rather than just let them get away with it, try and live again, just hunt them down, pressure them. When they're that low health, not only obviously they're going to fall easy, but you do get a little bit shaky, a little bit, you know, a bit concerned, and things do go wrong for you, and you can easily make mistakes. They advanced on that, they take down one squad. But as you mentioned, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people at George as well.
You've got a good split. They've all kind of claimed their own ground, though, at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams.
And here we go over towards the more eastern side. Oh, Break's going to be into an instrument. Moondie's here as well. There's not enough loot for 2 teams, but where Moondie currently is slightly better off, but I don't know what weapons they have cover-wise as well. We'll keep eyes on that. He's marking it down. He knows they're there. Good intuition as well. Good team play, making sure they keep it marked, keep the communication going, because you don't want to get caught out here. They can break off, excuse the pun, and go down towards Melted Town if they want. And yeah, you're seeing them silhouetting on the horizon there. Good spot from Break and the boys. They're going to try and readjust.
You love to see it. Put a marker down, call to your teammate. That's exactly where they are. Make sure you've got your back to them and just running away from them. Make sure they don't have any kind of sight line on you. A couple of shots coming from the SKS as well as we move on board with Chappie, just scaring him away or trying to get a random shot if he could. Solid FPS. Right next to him as well, just on the horizon. Both guys moving up. We're going to put a red dot on that once it gives him some kind of sight. Will he go for the YOLO shot? Yes, he will. Trying to crack some off. Leans forward, but unfortunately doesn't find any connection whatsoever.
Teammate's still pretty far away from him too. Ollie did find Evermore. We discussed that earlier. They were closing in towards each other, heading around that northeast coastal side, utilizing the road and going the long way back around. They actually could run into Swetch and the boys later on. But eventually in the next minute, you've got to start wondering how you're going to get there, how you're going to start leaving where you are, how you're going to move across. And especially for the players in towards George, towards the west, that sort of thing, you've got to start looking at getting cars. Luminosity, it's expected to see the more experienced players and people like that getting in towards the cars, getting that sort of theory into mind, starting to move across the map, stay incredibly mobile. It's a good idea from these guys so far. This terrain, though, always tricky.
Yeah, chips in injured. They're just going to go for the long play, get inside the circle, which, as you kind of mentioned...
It's already populated.
Yeah, that's the issue, right? You're turning up quite literally to a gunfight, and people are already going to be geared. I'm seeing Altos, he's definitely got a rifle on him. You got a level 2 helmet, level 2 bag, chest as well. 2 ARs, so Ninja's going to have an AR also, you would presume, otherwise his teammate would hand over an AR. So they're kitted up on guns at least. Yeah. They're not going in empty-handed.
No, I'm wondering how the military-based battle's going down, because Ocean Serenity... Well, they've had a rough time so far. They've been mostly found by, I think it was Yunru & Co. I'm not 100% sure. It was one of the Koreans mostly finding them. They've had a really tough time blue, which is always the issue when you go for the West Coast. At the moment, they've got a little bit better this time. AK, bit of armor, starting to look a little better, but they've backed away from the big military base. They're into the smaller, isolated piece. And I'm wondering if they've noted that the other teams are still close by. There is one other team here with them, and there's probably a couple of players down by Novo. Very close to the circle, but they will eventually need to move, tuck themselves in towards the bridge, and probably prepare themselves to trade out and get over to the other side. There's a little bit of area on this, so they can still move out. This is the mansion, though. Good spot comes in. This could be a big battle going down. Hard to back away from this area. Mostly open ground on it, unless you've got a car to just quickly make that escape.
Tags up one, so that player will be healing up as well. He does have his teammate with them, so if he did go down, he could have at least clawed him back. However, his teammate's in a good angle, so they can kind of pincer them here and move together as a little squad and try and get multiple angles. They'll be looking, I mean, there's only one real place they can go, right? But look at them. Luminosity. They're getting healed up, but they're just looking outside the windows. This is going to be a battle who finds their head first. Now, we do have an 8x scope in play there. Smoke's going to go down, so he's probably going to push back. Just trying to see where they are kind of perpendicular to them. So they're getting aggressive on them.
Yeah, it's going to allow them to cross to the main mansion building, or at least the side mansion building, and get visual on it. You've got good windows to play from, you've got cover. But again, you know, let's be honest, Ninja and the guys don't need a reason to play out. They're still pretty comfortable there. They're going to go for shots. Look at this position. Oh, that's really nice. You're not only using the window for cover, for example, but using the pillar behind it, so you are using a fraction of the vision available. And Ninja's got to be very careful here. So do the entirety of the other side. It depends who gets the engagement properly off here. But again, I've got to say, if you're going to put money on it, you put it on the guys inside the mansion. Far better cover, but they're just going to pro down Luminosity. You know, they're not in the business of this. Just heal up, get ready for some more fights down the line.
The issue is the 8x scope, you know, especially on the back of an M16. If a bullet comes out of that and it's at the face, it's going to do some serious damage. That'll allow his teammate to also then, if that player does drop, moving aggressively. However, Ninja's outside the house, got an SKS himself. Can he do something? Will they advance forward and try and do it? But I don't believe. Excuse me, I'm actually on the wrong person there. That was my bad because of the camera. Slightly put off. We're actually on the point of Xeon. But they've got eyes on the prize. They know, I think, where Cloud9 is. You wouldn't be worrying so much.
One of Cloud9's players, I'm pretty sure. It's only Borg here at the moment, so this could be quite tricky. But we saw Borg was playing pretty well before. But looking at Xeon here, although I don't think that's Xeon's webcam, if I'm not going mad. Maybe I am. See if he can get anything done from this one back in the car. Yeah, exactly. He's one of the people I was like, I know what you look like. So that could be a bit awkward, but you can see the The UAZ just rolling away. But yeah, it's basically try and find a compound that's safe, get ready for the circle, and lock yourself in. Because this is going to be a long game. Still 76 alive yet. Your teammates just left you. Daz, get in the car, please, as there's fire coming in. Good position from Borg again. His teammates on the way back to help him, but you've got to be a little careful here. And you can see Ninja still just prone down.
I mean, there's no point in running out, right? Oh, here we go. So try and crack some shots off. We said before, there's a man who loves to shoot long range if he sees a vehicle, which he's actually, this time round, he's not going to do it. Don't want to give away his position, which I suppose is fair play because he's already got to remember that he's got two people behind him. If they hear an engagement coming across from these people, they might think, well, it's time to move, but neither of these two rosters wanting to make any advancement whatsoever. Ninja's team currently, I think they are top 6, so a win for them. May actually, ooh, random person pokes around the corner.
Squisha, there it is. Remember,
goes
yesterday
down.
he did really well as well, made it to the top 2,
Yeah.
lost out to Yunru in the end. So he's got some real ability. Don't ride him out. He's got to go in and finish the kill. You know he wants to as well. This is on the edge of Yasnaya right now. Cleanly done, looks for the trade out, is expecting a push to come back in. Julia behind, but going to be uncomfortable for her to try and cross out of there. That wall is not easy to get through, so she might have to go all the way around. Where's the teammate? In the garage area. So that's the next bit of the puzzle here. Squisha is safe for now, but they can't cross back too easy. Nice crouch jump coming out from
really
Squisha.
good.
Really well played.
I like what you caught for it as well, because if you can't do that, you have to run all the way front here on the police station, then go all the way back around just to get into the bigger library, so to speak, that is actually behind it. Bullet comes in, hits the pan, but unfortunately, he will fall just as it happens. That's Mayhop Wango, and then he is completely finished off. The Noble boys playing up to what they said previously. The pan, kind of did its job for one bullet, but unfortunately, he's just too good. Idaculus comes in, finishes it off, and he will also get the revival on his teammate as well.
There's people not far off. There's so many players close by. They're going to hear these shots coming through as well. You can see just over in the hangar almost area, Yunroot's there. They're not exactly going to be playing too aggressive, I can imagine, but look, here we go. Develo has finally spread out. I can imagine that's Sequisha and Julia at the moment, because that was the opposing team on the other side. Decent gear too on this guy. Gets the UMP out. Good control. Sick shot, actually.
Nice.
Headshot bangs him down. Full auto now, ready to rumble. He spotted Julia as well in the doorway. He's going to go for the aggression. This is very smart. Ooh, again, using third person very well here, trying to just position so he can see when she crosses back over to probably go for the revive. Gives it a second or two. Check to see if she's pushing close on that northeastern side. No, she's going for the revive.
Him to go for the rush.
He's going to go probably now, I'd say. No, he's working his way in slowly, but this is smart from Julia, actually. She's taking her time as well, not rushing it, no need to just yet, because you know Develo is now getting closer and closer and closer. She just wants the fight. She wants him dead. She wants this over and done, and she's going to have to get it done now. Both on full auto. We've got the AK up against the UMP. She engages first, but she's half HP. Not iron sighting in either, just over the shoulder shooting almost at this point, and he's toying with her, playing with her. He can see the shadow peeking as well on the right side. He's going to back off and look for a new angle. Good shot from Julia, but he still gets away.
That could be enough, though, just to allow him to get Sakisha up. Excuse me, allow her to get Sakisha up, should I say. But he's coming back in. He's moving in again, and he's going to be that really annoying player.
This is going to happen.
Pushes around the corner. Does he take her down? No, he doesn't. He gets hit himself. But he gets it. 2 kills in the back here. Tavilo, amazing work from him. Aggression came out, but then again, when you're the last man standing in your roster, what else are you going to do? You might as well have gone for it. He knew he was applying so much pressure, and he did go through with it, seals the deal, and takes them both down.
Credit where it's due, though. Sequisha and Julia played that really well. I think, if anything, you've got to be a little bit more decisive, but she was half HP. There's no easy way to win that situation. But let's look at how you're seeing Borg play this out. You can tell he's a first-person player, right? He's peeking that as if he's looking for the angles that can only be seen with an advantage to him. But right now, we are seeing a couple of kills come through, but knockouts mostly with shotguns, still very viable for taking these buildings. You kind of need it.
Does, looking in play, sees a play around the corner, goes in, takes him out as well, so that's 2
sick.
down. Noble as well in the kill feed. They're getting more kills, so now we're into his top 66. Cake taking out 1 shot, also Yunru bagging himself some kills. These guys are playing really, really well. Super, super good confidence every single time you see them approach a building. Now they're doing it. Now they're going to go in. Pre-firing already, as you saw around the corner as we hop on board with Cake's POV. 2 people go diving out of the UAS. He's got them pinned, though, as he keeps laying, and all of a sudden that UAS will back off. It'll give them a little bit more of a view.
Oh, the UAS running away from him is always pretty awkward, but the knockout does come through. That M16A4 doing the work he needs. Falling off this a little bit, looking to readjust, not overcommit from this. Doesn't need to. Just be careful of the car, doesn't want to lose out on that. Oh, fire comes in from either side, and that is the kill coming out. So break goes down. That's one of the big heavy hitters now, losing out on being anywhere near that top 20 even. Still 64 alive here. You can see those 4 times, the 8 times all going to work. Now this becomes scary.
And that comes comes off the back of what Noble have been doing. They've decided, okay, we need to get center circle here. We need to get a compound. We need to get set up, and that's exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, speaking of TSM, Smack gets a kill of his own. He'll take down Shaka with the Scar. Moving forward, his teammates right in tow behind him. That's going to be Vis. Looking at the crit. Let's see what else they got in here. His little body. Does he have anything good? Clearly on his screen he does. 8-time scope. Very, very nice. Level 3 military vest also. So that's a great kill for him. That's some really big upgrades there.
Yeah, let's have a look at the overview map if we can, check in where the circle's going to be going towards what we have in front of us here, and have a little look throughout. So mostly towards the eastern side, a lot of that kind of open terrain still going to be up for play. Not too much there. The mansion, of course, the Povka's still in it. We're going to see the Panda guys throwing down here. I think that's against Cloud9, so not the battle we're watching at the moment, but there's still going to be battles absolutely everywhere. This is the mini mansion. Nade comes in. Unroot still stays calm under pressure. This guy's delivered time and time again. He does have the M4 with him. He's on the other side against a couple of players who are giving away their spot, but he's not in a great advantage. This little room's still not ideal.
Yeah, there's nowhere for him to really go, but he's keeping an eye on the prize, and that's a person inside that bottom floor. Scopes down, but he's too quick. He needs to help his teammate out, though, because there is 2 in there, I believe. In fact, no, one of them's actually going to bail out of this one. They're looking over the wall there. Will he be able to see that player, though, from where he is? The UAS is there if he needs to just bail and get the hell out, but at the moment, he's just keeping an eye. Hop on board with, I believe this is Killer Kapowski's POV, as we jump back to Sweater for a second. Watching the angle, watching the corner, doing the 3-peek, making sure no one's down there. I would suggest that he probably knows someone's here with him. Otherwise, he won't be so cautious. Yes, it's going to be Borg who takes out Moo with an AKM. He's knocked him down.
Again.
Here comes the call, though.
So good.
Jesus, Borg. This is the man, obviously, they shipped in when, unfortunately, Crunch couldn't come in. There's a third person as well.
He needs to land. He's land. Oh, the spray is second to none. I'm a fan of this guy. Borg has proven to be a beast. Give us some 7.62, and I am just loving watching this. Interrogate again. You can see the Noble guys are very much still in this battle. We're still seeing a lot of the bigger players still in this. Looks like Break really suffered throughout that one. A bit of a shame for him. I can imagine frustrating, but at the end of the day, we're still seeing the Noble guys come alive in this. We're seeing a lot of the Korean team. Ooh, good connection on the stairs. Not perfect, but good enough.
Goes for the tap, drills him upstairs. There are going to be 2 players up there now, and he knows it as well, and that's why he's standing his ground. His teammates with him, right above him. So they're both just eyeing down on these windows, on these doors. Anyone to make the first move, and they're just going to get completely lit up. But Alf plays. He's got his teammate. You know, if they want to step out themselves, it's a bit of a problem. It's a Mexican standoff right now because whoever steps outside the door, unfortunately, will be dying straight away. But they do have an option to run out the back and try and get away. Dink comes in. No targets are found. Grenade runs straight through the window. They cooked it, but it didn't find a target whatsoever. In the meantime, Stone Mountain takes down Serenity as well. He's going to go for another grenade, but as he steps out, he gets melted. He has to rush in here to try and get his teammate out. As he's doing so, though, he's getting lit up himself. Grenades are coming in thick and fast. Needs to be extremely careful.
See them eyeing this up. First person using it as best they can, and you can see this guy trying to close the doors, keep this one safe. But there's no backing away. He needs to take a final one, give them a reason to be busy, otherwise one will push. He can go for a revive, maybe. But the tick of the nade, and the throw comes in. It's a good throw as well. It might just do the job. There it is! Absolute dunk work coming out. That's going to at least take down one. He might need to look for a little bit more to double check if the other player got taken down. He didn't. Dingus Khan managed to back away in time. He saw what was happening, and he fell off it in a smart way of playing. But so far, Primos play, Vicstar's going for the long play here. He better be meted up to the teeth.
He needs to have plenty because that is a long way to go, and we're going to be moving into some seriously damaging circles very, very soon. They need to get a car. They need to get the hell out of there and get the... really just on the way. Hayes and his teammate Ollie, they're going to be working their way up in a boat also. They're going to come in from that shore side. I'm
curious how good their gear is because they work that northeastern side. They took down Evermore, for example, but the problem is that there's not much to be seen now. That's why I saw a level 1 helmet, level 2 vest, level 1 vest. They're going for the long haul. They're playing longevity games here. So keep an eye on the fuel as well. They've got a decent amount of fuel. They might just play this. They could honestly put the boat out here, just sit outside of it, play back in late. I wouldn't actually blame him for it. Mazzarini still alive as well. Oh, shots coming in on the heels. Which window is going to be containing the player that's been absolutely drilling you? Got to be careful. Going to prune his way out. The X-Power Gaming. Bit of a superstar, but we can see a bit of a boat battle going down. Hayes can still do some work. He's able to shoot on this one, holding the boat still. Luminosity Gaming trying to get in towards this fun safe way. You can see the evasive maneuvers just tearing that tail out, but they can go to the rocks and play on the rocks as well, get some fire back towards them. Drassel, well aware of this. You're going to hear those shots from Hayes, but again, how much ammo? Not much. 30 in the clip, 18 in the pocket. You can't afford to do this. Drassel just got knocked
Yeah,
out.
that's what I was about to say. Drassel just got knocked out from falling.
Did he get out of the boat too fast?
Spatch knocks out
my
Scum.
God,
I think he did. And now they hear it. They know that he's in trouble, and they know that JP2 is going to be picking him up, so they're going in for the kill. They're looking for it. If he creeps up...
Get to the beach.
That's
Screw
it.
him, get to the beach, get to safety. If he's reviving him, fine, that'll take some time. They need to get back in the boat. It does look as though Mazarine did get shut down. And they're just baffled as to what the hell's happened. They may not even realize how this has gone through, but there we go. Draffle is back up. So at least he's safe for now, and they can go for fun. But do they realize they've been revived? Hayes, can you be careful here? If you go too close to that boat, there's going to be problems, and there are. They're getting lit up now. Maybe a little bit, I don't know, they just didn't understand what was happening. I don't blame them. It's a little bit baffling. Switching on the seats is a good way to avoid the shots coming in, but they are getting peppered. That boat needs to be careful. Careful jumping out of these things. All good, all well. Hayes is fine. They're both going to play the boat game now, but it's one of those. Why not? You can see how well it worked before. It does get you higher into the game. Let's just leave them to it. They'll be doing that boat, jumping in and out for a while. Not much to be said either about that one, but Chappie's still in this. Got himself in a nice little shack.
They're definitely in trouble, though, because his teammate doesn't have
shot.
a helmet, so he's actually been tanked up. You've just seen there on screen. Kicks going for another one. Nice scoping in. Zooms in, gets the third, looking over the Harry Potter tower, make sure no one's looking at him, and now he'll opt to run, which is fair game to him. Looking down at the kill feed, Scoom takes out Spadge. I actually think it was Spadge who potentially killed his teammate earlier on. I seem to remember it in the kill feed, so that potentially could be revenge for him.
Yeah, I actually believe it might have been. I'm not 100% sure myself, but Adren's still in this. The Blue's moving in pretty quickly here. He's got the Blue to his side, so he's going to take the shot. Nice control. Gassy Mexican denied this round. First kill on the board for Adren, but it's not too bad in the end as he's going to find another one. Nice control on the tapping here. You're going to see that coming through. Maybe another. Forzen's gone down in the meantime, sadly for him, but a decent finish, but not quite towards the top. Still within, you know, you're in the 50 range. You need to be looking at 20s, that sort of thing, if you want a big shot at this game now. If you want to change how the standings look, 10, 20, that's the position you've got to be looking at. This is over by the underground bunkers still. A very hard one to play. Third person plays to it well because you can peek the top of the ridges. But again, you're going to see the car being brought around here. Adren baiting out the noise actually as well. It's only him in there, not Anger. So Anger can still lay down the fire. Smart approach. That's going to cause them to peek and play out, and it does. Sick play, intuitive, clever motions from the CS players from Mythic. Adren and Anger, well done. They fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
You love to see it with the M16A4. It does 41 per tick. And just ticking it away, another kill on your screen. As soon as I'm going through that, Bobber GG takes out one. Turns around, here's the boat. Goes for the long scope, though. He's got the scope for it, and he's got the Car 98. Let's see if he can actually find a target. Leans
so
forward.
Hard to hit it.
It's doable, though, and he's leaning it.
Look, these players are damn good. I wouldn't doubt them for a second. This is going to play back up towards Mansion. This is going to force the players out of the damn water. Sorry, Liquid boys. I know you like it. Molman's doing the same thing. It's viable. This is the thing. I'm not going to, give them grief for it. It worked well in the last game, but look at them getting lit.
Too close.
They just got out. This is huge. He died from falling to the floor. There's no revive here. Molman will need to get his loot and then get back to moving, I can imagine. Otherwise, that boat's going to be torn to shreds. Can he get it in time? I don't think he can get the loot done. He has to peek up, he has to get to the top of the water as the other Liquid guys in this. They've team v team action.
Liquid, unfortunately, finding a watery end there. Out in the ocean, we'll see down in the kill feed as well. Bobber answers to Hot. It takes him out with the 16A4. 45 players remaining. Is everybody up now? Did we see any final stragglers? I mean, it's not really a great time to be doing it once we've had a look at this little engagement going on here. This is the C9 boys chilling
and
in the little compound.
Here. Do you want to leave him to let him take whatever he wants?
This is the compound just next to the apartments, right? Just over from it a little bit. Pretty sure, because you have a broken wall around here, and it's such a good place. You've got the parking lot here, he's got the house. Then in front of it, you've got that wall and the container that goes all the way around it. Smack takes out one of the Noble guys.
Daz was dead. Alone. Yeah, Daz was all on his own. His teammate died a little bit earlier on. Very light loot here, it seems. Oh, no, excuse me. There is an M4 on his back. I didn't see that for a second. I was kind of curious. Decent loot otherwise, but all of the car coming in there, that's going to be seen. Bit of a looting going down here. The UMP let a couple of bullets fly, but no kills coming in on the kill feed. That doesn't show us too much, but only 15 seconds on the next circle to start moving. Boba and the boys got to get themselves tucked in now. They know it. They might have just been spotted out here. Zegi's going to see one. He's going to lay down some fire, but oh, it's Oshi7 being found. Bit of a shame for him. He made it from the military island, but merely got outflanked here, out-timed. They're going to have to get themselves moving, though. They've got a lot of terrain to cover here.
41 remaining. Single shot on the M16, and then 8 times. If a man can hit someone in the face at long range, it's going to be this man, Cake. Yesterday's performance was absolutely stunning. Stylish noob, shotgun in hand, close quarters. He's stuck in the garage. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the compound where the players... Is this the one where he's got the C9 guys above him potentially, or am I talking rubbish here?
It actually could be. Yeah, because that's the same...
I'm pretty sure it is.
That was already being toyed with. I'm curious to what gun he's got on his back. I didn't see that before. It is. Now, I'm pretty sure Borg, if they've got their already up really high, they're going to hear this. They might have seen someone or heard people shooting at him. Jared did manage to find Hayes. They were the guys by the water, so the water strat not working out this time. But Stylish Noob, we've seen this guy's very good, actually. He's got a scar on his back as well, so he's decently geared. But I'm pretty sure they're going to know he's here. I'm not sure if the door opening would have done it, but here we go. Oh, Anger's just got wrecked.
Rip.
Not only playing against someone else, but also having the circle right behind you. You have no time to take the fights. Stody managing to get into this one as well. Finally seeing him kick off, which is always good. Back into the battle. Vis going to find Ollie. Finally taking them down. Velo as well, getting taken down outside of the play zone. He was the one fighting with Julia and such, but Borg just found Juan, but I'm not sure if that's the same player. Yeah, that might give it away for the player below him who's got the shotgun to maybe move into position, because now this compound will not be in, not the one we're looking at right now, but the ones that were at before might be in trouble now.
No, it's not, because his Stylish Noob was in that garage, so
yeah.
Borg's just giving away. Oh, he's got eyes on him. He's got eyes on him with an SKS.
Does he take the time on the shot? That's
so he's eyeing
400 meters.
He's eyeing it up.
He's starting to hold the breath. This should be the shot if it's ever going to happen. You can see it pinging through, dropping a little short there. 7.6, it takes a while to travel. Don't be mistaken. That is a long distance fight he's taken. It's close, but it's certainly no cigar. And the reload time comes in. He's a little pretty frustrated with that, if anything, but might be able to get back for a bit. No. Opts not to, keeps his position quiet for now.
What a spot, though. I mean, you've got to talk about the peripheral view and vision that these players have. Been able to just see something like that in the corner of their eye, all the way in the distance, just chilling in the garage, and then attempt for the kill. THC takes out Andy Pyro. Going to see JP2 also. Here comes a big engagement, though. One person jumping above him, unfortunately, will get nailed. That's going to be Borg, again, taking out his teammate, Chappie, from the actual team. Look at the AKM as well. Another player will fall in front of him, but they're all just dying. Teammates on teammates. Grenade comes in.
Let's go, Sweater.
He's cooking it. He's going for the car.
He's taking too long, though. The thing is, during this time, that's so nice. He took a little bit of time to make that count. I was worried he'd taken too long, allowed Borg to die for it, but no, he lands the nade, something we haven't seen that much of today.
That's
There's
amazing.
only been one, well, I guess it was a nade knockout, really. It was to confirm the death, but nice work from him, really well played. Beautiful stuff on towards the other Cloud9 guys.
I love the fact that he actually stepped out in the open, he cooked it as long as possible, then threw it, went underneath the car, took out that player that was hiding behind it. What an absolutely clutch kill. Cloud9, they want the win. These guys do love third person. We'll see how this one plays out a little bit more. Meanwhile, on the opposing side, we'll see Mithra moving up the stairwell. He's got his teammate with him.
Other victors.
They're just
the
chilling.
First round.
Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed with them in the second as well. These guys are becoming a really enjoyable one to watch here. But Cake slowly creeping into this. And he's got the slow side of the circle for now, but he's waiting to see if they cross out, essentially. He wants to be the victor of this battle with the fence. Ooh, he does take down Vicstar in the end, who worked his way in from so far away. Bear in mind, he was one of the players over at what is Primos, but now the tags come through. He can hear the shots around. He wants to confirm that kill. Vicstar, no chance of a revive, but he needs to bandage. He needs to heal. There's no one else close by. He should be able to make a run, but it's still quite far. And Cake, this is not going to be a sweet end to this one if he doesn't manage to get off these heals. But Borg just found the Noble guys as well. Cloud9 playing well. This is going to be a big game for them. He goes down outside, a shame, but he took down one with him, so he gets a better position on the leaderboard overall. And there is no big building left inside that next circle. And here we go. This is where it all gets a little more interesting.
And still the mansion. These boys have been here from the very start, and they're holding their ground. You saw in the kill feed as well. Smack taking out Butts, looking around, making sure no one's creeping in. This mansion belongs to them. But the circle is going to force them all out of it.
Soda, Stone Mountain, Sweater. I actually like the Cloud9 guys' positions, but they're open. They've got their back in the open at the moment. There's like 6, 7 people around this area. Who's got the high ground? Who has the angle is going to win this one.
Stylish Noob's followed them. They're all three of them have come together. Stylish Noob's in the building in front of the C9 guys. He was initially behind them, and now he's in front of them. Whether or not he can actually get a look on it, we'll find out in just a second. We move on board. It's going to be Flom.
WTCN, of course, this guy's there. He is an absolute animal at taking these guys down. Flom trying to dodge and weave.
He's going to get the kill. He does.
And yes, so there's maybe hope. 30 seconds for the revive. Lex can do this. He can make it happen for them.
No
way!
Viz!
Got toyed with a taste of victory, but Vis will ruin it, take him down. And this is the battle still of the mansion. They will have to leave the mansion, bear in mind. They cannot stay here. Stone Mountain moving right next to these guys that we're watching right now. The Luminosity boys will be hearing this. They've been here the whole time as well. They've been camping this one out, and why not? They need it. Good spot comes in from Chips, but he can't land the shot.
Smack takes that music down in the kill feed also, but look, they're in the only compound left inside this circle. Just on the edge. They can walk, let people just wander through. At the moment, we'll see Sweater making his way up, looking around, checking left, right. You can hear the gunshots going up. He's second down, Stylish Noob. That's the guy that were toying with him earlier on, keeping them locked back outside. Viz knocks out Borg. He's got to run, he's got to go. He's out in the open. Shots are coming in left, right, and center. It's a complete mess. Will he survive? I think he's going to go down. He's getting shot in the back at the front. One
There's
person in
players
front of
moving
him.
into the building. It's still,
No!
oh, he finally goes down. Let's see who's alive right about now. We've got about 3 players left in this building. Chipsy's up top.
Oh my God.
Oh my word.
He's crawling
This
for his
is
dear life.
terrifying. They need the revives to come in. But here comes a buggy play. Sprays it down. Chipsy, what can you do? Can you make it count when it matters? Looks towards the door. He knows he's being pressured. Ninja's already gone down. He's expecting that close push. The shotgun still so viable here. We're down to 5 players. The tiniest of circles. And Chipsy, the Luminosity guys need this one in the bag. That could be a good victory for them.
He's going to get the shotgun out, which is fair play. He's just peeking and poking that corner, hoping someone comes up the stairwell. If they do, they are boxed in. That shotgun's going to do so much damage. 9 pellets to the chest will absolutely dominate a play.
What do we have?
TSM are both still alive.
Okay, so we have a really strange combination.
Oh my word, look at this.
Look at TSM's positioning. They've played it very well. They didn't know how well they played it. So I think we've got basically 2 teams alive, 1 solo. That's it. Chipsy can be the biggest pain in the ass. He could make it so the other team can't win. He could make the other team suffer. If he plays this very slow and gets him in the heels as they cross towards a circle, the game is his. Or they can do the same to him, but then it costs them their position. Basically, TSM do not need to be involved here. They don't need to touch this fight. They're fine. Unless someone starts shooting the cars, then all right, maybe there's a problem. Nades start to rain in. Here we go. 13 seconds remain. Bit of a splash damage on that, going to keep Chipsy on his toes. The heal comes out. He wasn't pre-boosted, which is surprising. They could have capitalized on that, but they didn't. During this time, have they moved? Have they run? Have they changed? No, you can still see 1 player below. You can still see them waiting on this. TSM just need to be patient. They don't need to move at all. This is what I mean, that eventually in this meta, in this sort of situation, in this circle, in this end, you can use shotguns here, but as soon as you get past this environment, it's fair play to everything. He's now got full stim on basically here. Here comes the blue. Can he survive this? They can creep out. They can wait. TSM, will they hold their nerve? Will they be patient enough? Or will he Spider-Man down and ruin the day for them? We're going to find out. Is he still in the circle? I don't think he is. He will be forced. Oh, is he still in?
He is.
He's
if he crouches up, he is.
That's unreal. So now let's see if there's patience to be the virtue. Oh, the nade goes up though. This is huge. TSM could be making this so difficult for everyone in this game. Smack's there grinning. You can see it. They know they have this all in their hands. The battle over the house still continues. They can revive their teammate. There's still one up on the balcony. This is insane stuff.
Smack and Viz working in tandem, putting shots on. There's the kill. He will fall. That's Yamaton who will go down. It's actually Chipsy who does seal the deal and kills him. 6 kills coming here for Viz.
2v1.
This
Chipsy
should be GG.
Chipsy has got back to the wall game here. Let's see what you can do. It's about to rain in. TSM just put up a wall. This is their game. They will not allow this to change. Or can Chipsy go against the odds?
I think he's still in the corner as well.
Good idea as well from Smack. He moves over. He baits out the shot. He wants this fight as well. He doesn't care about this. The circle's a new place. So basically what's going to happen now, Viz is just going to be the man to get the frags. He doesn't care too much. He's allowed Smack now to get to the safe position. He's got the cover in the new circle. He's the last line of defense. And let's see from Chipsy's perspective as well. What does he do in this one? How does he get out of it? He's got to move any second now. He's making the first play for auto spray. There it is. Smack lays down the law. 4 kills in the end. Chipsy played it well, calm, cool, collected. But how much more could you do? But what a great game from the Cloud9 guys as well. We saw Borg being an absolute animal throughout that one.
Team Solo Mid finally get a win on the board. Smack and Viz at the end, coming up clutch. Everything, unfortunately, was just on the line for Chipsy. He had his back up against the blue. He had to move. But I tell you what, he did so well to survive for so long. From at the very start, been there with Ninja, not moving whatsoever, having 2 players constantly on his back, like dogs, just beating at him. He stayed alive. But you got to remember, him and Ninja, I believe they were in 6. Coming second's going to give them a bluster of points.
Huge.
Has it done enough, though, to give them the #1 spot? We'll be finding out from the admins in just a second as we bring up that final score count to show you who our Gamescom duos 3-person winner exactly is.
I genuinely think this is going to be quite close.
Yes.
I really, really do. There's a lot of teams that we saw in a regular basis being within that top 10. And here we go. At the top, it's Yuki and THZ throughout this one. Great finish from them. WTCN, not surprising, again, had a great game. Cloud9 up in third, and Luminosity merely making it to fourth, but they're still doing a great performance. They really did make it through at the very end there, shutting that one down, bringing themselves up. I think they're in the prize money at that point. I think top 4, you get prize money. So that's all they had to do is get to that top 4, and they've done that. Everyone else, Cloud9 guys, got to say, credit to Borg in this one for stepping in where it mattered. WTCN is my surprise of the day. And Yuki, what a play from him, and THZ really sticking in this one, playing a longevity game. You can see the disparity in kills there. WTCN and Mythrain, Sweater and Borg, definitely frag-heavy players, definitely providing a lot. 72 points on kills between them. The others around the 30 marker, playing a little bit more for the getting into the positional sort of victory. So again, credit where it's due, did very well there. Also, outside of Butts did nicely themselves. They were one of the qualifiers, just missing out on the money though. But Yuki and THC, considering these are the two teams that essentially, or should I say two of the teams who went through the open qualifier have made it to the top 5. That for me is what I like about this game. If you're good online, if you can play it, if you're, you get on those ranks, you get on those ladder boards, and you deliver on a regular basis, you can come here and provide us with some great games. You are more than capable of doing so. This is what it means to me, and this is going to mean the world to them.
And I tell you what, this only continues tomorrow because, of course, it moves into first person, but we're still going to have these people who are allowed to qualify from the floor. We're still going to have these new people injected into this competition. And, of course, as you can see on there, it's plain, it's simple. They have caused an upset. They have come in. They have dominated. I tell you what, damn good job. We'll run down through 6. We're going to see Smack and Viz getting up there with that win, but not enough, unfortunately, to be in the money bracket. Yunru and Dingus Khan move into 7th. Down at 8th, we see Scoom and Molman from Liquid. Vikster and Musk. I tell you what, credit where credit's due to Vikster. 9th place is a damn good performance. He really did. You saw him playing the late game early on. It was a little bit unfortunate in that last game that you did have Cake. He was just chilling.
He was just
okay,
there.
what do we do? It was very unfortunate.
Just caught him on the push out. Nothing else you can do on that. You just kind of get caught in the heels. You're like, well, that's me done, right? But yeah, Vikster to me was probably one of the people that I didn't expect to get high up, as because there's still streamers, there's still influencers, there's people that aren't necessarily associated with like the esports side of things or competitive gaming as much. He came in and showed he's very much able to compete. The fans out there that supported him clearly know what they're up to. They know what's going on, so he did really well to do what he did.
I think this is another good thing to say about this game, how easily accessible it is to anyone. Anyone can jump on, anyone can pick up the mouse and keyboard. You can keep playing it from a social aspect. It's just a game that you can jump on, you can really enjoy. But if you put the time in, you put the effort in, you can become a professional. We've seen some of the professionals already in action. We've seen Luminosity, we've seen TSM. But then we see guys coming out of nowhere on the day, showing up, getting the kills when it mattered most. There were some incredibly clutch moments there. But I tell you what, congratulations to the winners. They turned up, they made it, and they're going to be walking away. I believe, I'll let you bring, do we actually have the kill feed, in fact? They have the final prizes. So they're going to be walking away with $30,000. Second place walking home with $28,000 for third, and then $4,000 for fourth. So big difference between first, second, and fourth when you look at the prizing. But turning up on a day and walking home with 30 grand, that's insane. That's amazing.
This is why I was so happy when I saw the open qualifier. When that got announced, I was, over the moon, because you get to see what this game can provide at a high level as well. Those guys played a great game. They didn't even play the cheesy game either. So for me, I was so glad to see them do well there. Credit where it's due to them. They are my MVPs of the day. There was a good few others who really surprised me, but yeah, I think we got to see far better gameplay from me at the moment. You can see TSM clearly happy with each other, supporting each other. Even though Break and AIM did go down a little earlier, they're still, all there supporting each other in a nice, kind of all-included way.
I mean, fair enough, they've not won the event, but when you look at TSM as an organization, they've now had a player who's come in the top. They've actually been individually, when you've looked at the games that we've had. Yesterday, we saw Brick winning a solo. Now we've seen Smack and Viz winning a duo. Can they keep going on? Can they make it through? And then when it gets to that final day, can they all come together and can they claim the championship when we move into squads?
Yeah, they are predominantly a squads team. For me, at least when I watch it, they practice the squads, they do the online tournaments. I think everyone, when you look at TSM, you see consistency.
Yes.
That's the main thing they have. You can say the same with Liquid as well. It's a bit of a shame they basically ran into each other throughout this tournament. Again, same as we said with Cloud9. They bumped into each other.
Out.
Yeah, exactly. Borg just destroyed them. So yeah, we are just waiting on the winners to get themselves in position so we can give them the delightful trophies. They're just chilling out right now. So we'll hopefully get them the word when it's all ready and done, because I think we're done talking for the day. We've done a lot of talking.
One person who was really showing up, though, and again, whether or not you can really take much from it, but when you bring in a draft like, excuse me, from the Borg, when you bring in Borg as a substitute's a rough word, even a backup, so to speak, but you've got to bring someone into that squadron. So far, Borg has been absolutely taking faces. Every single time we're talking 5, 6, 7, 8, even 11 kills at one point. That man is an absolute animal. We were watching him before, hanging outside the back of that window. I think the shot must have been a good 400, 500. Someone else he just picked up from the opposing side of the building.
Yeah. And if it's the guy that I'm thinking of, he's top 100 on squads as well back in NA, so he's going to bring a lot towards the final game for Cloud9. So he's a great pickup, good choice for them. Still not sure what we're waiting on. Seems that everyone's just chilling out now.
Everyone's chilled. They're all having a chat. They're all having a little bit of a talk. We'll get these guys into position very, very soon so we can do the trophy announcements, hand over the prizes, and hand over the checks exactly how it needs to be done, because there's so much on the line. Not only the trophies, not the money, but the pride, especially turning up to an event without a sponsor or an organization on your back and just turning up and being able to take down some of these names, because there are some big names here. There are some very, very big names.
Well, we all know that a lot of these players got picked up because they're popular streamers rather than, competitive players. I think that's going to change.
Still needs to develop over time, obviously.
And it's completely viable to do that, but it's good to see these young players who just grind out the game. That, to me, is what this game is about, that it's not just about the the influence and that sort of thing. It's about the young guys coming in and doing what they want. It does seem as though we're almost ready for the trophy moment now, so we're going to be winding that one up. You can see the guys getting ready. Great stuff from the guys on the screen. Borg thoroughly impressed me throughout today. Huge performance from him. The young guys who just came in and managed to surprise just about everyone. And, well, I've got to say that some of the fan favorites did very well today.
All right, looks like all the players are in place. Let's throw it on down to the stage and let's get these trophies handed out, because we have Cameron waiting there. He's live on the mic. We've got all the players lined up. We are just bringing all these trophies out of the back. We do have the pans once again. I believe in the background that we need to actually get ready. But when you look at that, you've got players, obviously, they've got the organization. They've got, they've got the tag on the T-shirt. They've got the pride. But then you've got these guys who have just turned up, Lauren. They don't have the T-shirts. They don't have the organization. They don't have that pressure behind them. But they have individual skill. The bigger question for me is, can these guys that have turned up and won today, can they make it through and get through to first place? And then can they do the exact same?
That would be great, wouldn't it?
It would be amazing.
I'd love to see that, yeah. So the guys, if you don't know, there's on the stage right now is Yuki and THZ. Those guys were the guys who qualified here. Kind of came out of left field. No one really knew, what to expect from them, and they did so well. They actually finished in first place. Beside them, you can be looking at Mithrain and WTCN. Bosphorus team, those super fan favorites, I've got to say. I know the crowd were absolutely loving them. I know that online there was a lot of talk about those guys. I had to work out who they were pretty fast because there was a lot of fans of them. And the Cloud9 guys, I think you know it mostly, but it's Borg and Sweater. And Borg had a huge game.
It's good to see Sweater doing so well as well. You kind of mentioned before, look, I don't care. Fair enough, we didn't win that round. I didn't even get a kill, he says. It's all about assisting my teammate and working together. But finally, it comes into play. He plays the long game, not going for the initial win on the round. Of course, everyone goes for the initial wins, but even not doing so, playing that long game, racking up all them points, and they're still on main stage. It came through.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
It's not.
That all right?
We'll get these. I tell you what is all right. The money that these guys are walking away with, because that's insane.
Yeah,
to show up like that, it's 30 grand.
30K, just casual afternoon. Oh, I fancy some PUBG today.
Can you imagine ringing your mum after this? I went to Gamescom. Mum, I won 30 grand.
But this is the thing, right? This is why open qualifiers are damn important for me. I think they have to be there because you get to see people doing this, and there's no better story. It doesn't matter who you are. If you turn up, you play right on the day, you play the game to the best of your ability, you keep opportunities. But yeah, there's been so many moments between these players, and I'm really glad to be seeing this. And I'm really glad to see from the frying pans.
You know what else I'm looking forward to seeing? Because this is where LAN environments is where you find your players of tomorrow. Yeah. The bigger question for me is later on in the week, especially as we have this open format again tomorrow where these players can join. Will they join up? Will they make it through? Will they be on the main stage again?
Did they plan to turn up for that many days?
Yeah, exactly. Have they even planned
accordingly? Do they have a hotel for tomorrow?
Are they going to be sleeping outside or using some of that 30 grand to go back themselves another hotel and try again? You know what I mean? But have we find players of tomorrow? That's what the good thing is about a LAN environment. We are getting these trophies set to hand out and all the prizes to the players.
I'm getting... they're still discussing the point system right now. So there may not be first, second, third as we'd expect. It's an interesting one, to say the least. I'll update you guys at home. That's why it's taking so long right now. The admins are just mulling over the numbers. But there's a possibility. I've heard the scary term of it could be a tie.
Oh.
Yeah, how unlikely is that? I don't know how we're going to define it. I don't know what the rules are. I'm just relaying what I'm hearing right now. So guys, stay tuned. This is going to be a funny one to work out. So you can see they're just waiting to find out as well what's been happening. Have a little look around. They've been on stage for a while.
Yep. Well, apologies for the delay, guys. We will keep you updated as soon as this information comes in. They are working everything out in the back because this obviously needs to be right. There's a lot of money on the line here. But still happy for Cloud9. I'm glad they made it up onto the main stage after speaking to him and after, you know, Swear has always said, look, third person is where it's at. This is where I'm at. This is where I'm standing my ground and sticking by it. And again, I still have a lot of respect in an environment where everyone's saying first person's the way forward. This is how we do esports, which is fair play. You know, we both come from a first person background. We enjoy it ourselves. But to be able to sit there and happily say, look, no, I'm going to stand up and say this game, a Battle Royale environment, because of positioning, because of map positioning, rotations, and making sure you've got cover, is designed for third person. He stepped up to the plate. The guys are there. They're up on main stage and some other ones aren't.
This is what I love to see. Yuki, 4 days ago, tweeted out, congratulations, you've been selected to participate in the open qualifier for the Gamescom Invitational. See you there, guys. And only 4 days later, he walks away in a very strong position. So those guys are going to be, you know, absolutely loving this. But I am still waiting on updates, guys. Apologies. I think everyone else is as well. It's been a long day. Love to leave this chair. It's only been 5 hours.
It's been fun, though. Game 2 was interesting. Game 2 was very interesting.
Yeah.
With the circle and whatnot. But Game 3 obviously ended in manic fashion. TSM just chilling there behind a rock and letting play the circle. And that's twice now we've seen TSM where they've been in a very good position perpendicular to where the circle's actually moving. We saw it with Break on day number 1. All of a sudden we just saw one circle and it just popped on him. He's like, okay, same thing happened there.
Do you know what we can do?
Go on.
We can go zoom in on the admins, not the photographers, who are sitting there going, I hate my life right now. They're the ones in the middle. Go find them. It's the tall dude and the one probably with a clipboard. And just watch them sweating bullets going, don't know what to do. Let's find them. Here's the overview camera. I'll give you a shout when they're on there. Wait, there they are. See the two sitting down? Just going, scratching chin going, oh, Jesus. Well, you know, it has been a fun day. A long day, but a fun day.
It's going to be a fun 4 days. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. First person is going to be insane.
First person is what I want to see, if I'm honest. Yeah, real talk about this. I do prefer first person perspective. I think everyone's got their own preference, and we've seen valid arguments for both. But first person to me, I think, will be the best display we've seen so far. I don't know how teams will approach it because they only get one round in it, right?
Yes.
So again, curious to see how people do in that one. There's not like you get the squads in it. That'll be back in third person. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how that one works out.
Just as a talking point then, let's expand on that one a little bit more as to why we think that. First person, obviously, we know we need... Don't look at me like that. Come on. Let's talk about it. We need to kill some time here, so let's have a chat about it.
Just watch these highlights really quietly.
Do you want to do that?
Well, there's a lot of things I want to do right now that don't end very well for me, career-wise, because at this point we're still waiting to find out what the end result is. But yeah, we can have a little look back on what we saw today. That was TSM when they were drastically under-geared. Saw the Vector in the late game play. That was Break, still in the one throughout the day here. Mythrain as well. These guys did so well there. That was beautiful from those guys. Big fan of them after the back of that. And yeah, all just wait and see what happens.
Apologies for this, guys. We will get this info relayed as quickly as possible. Liquid
you know
happy. Liquid
if
smiling.
we don't get updates, I can just read you through the rule book, guys. Be a lovely long conversation. Another highlight from, is this game 2?
Yeah, that's game number 2. That's when we saw Cloud9 looking back, and then all of a sudden his teammate just came in.
Waterworld.
Yes. Waterworld. It was a very interesting circle, that's needless to say. And I also am glad that nobody from that river battle did manage to win.
Yeah.
The late game players, though, coming in out of nowhere.
Yep, just staying basically safe throughout it. Let everyone just, you know, get in the paddling pool, have a good bit of fun.
There you go, then. While you're all waiting, guys, ESL.gg/PUBG
Sure, I'll go into it.
raffle.
I'm still waiting.
Make
Okay.
sure
ESL,
you enter there. There are
GG.
plenty. /PUBG raffle.
PUBG raffle. Let's see what we can get.
Look at that
I'm
1080.
into this.
Look
I've
at
got
that
1080. I recently got a 1080. Actually, pretty sick.
I would like a 1080.
It's really nice.
So if anyone wins it, you can send it my way by all means. Are you actually going to enter it?
Why not?
You can enter via Snapchat? Okay.
Okay, yeah. So all you have to do is follow certain accounts and you get the chance to get into it.
There
Very
you
nice.
go then. And 50
Do that, really
times
easy.
5. 50 times 5, that's a lot of crates.
Sure, the funny thing is people think that they'll never win it, so they actually don't enter that often. And yeah, the amount of times it's been like, oh, there's only like 100 people involved, and then suddenly they're just like, wait, what? How did not? And then everyone kind of realizes and gets into it. I remember, I think the first time we did it, and people realized, like, no one signed up, guys. We can do this.
I'm
going
gonna
to
dive in now.
Like literally the whole. I think it was like ESL 1 Cologne, and everyone just dived in. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, suddenly the odds aren't so good for you. The odds aren't so in your favor, but I assure you, you can really get into it and get some good stuff in your pocket. The Intel PUBG raffle kit as well in there. I think I know which one I'd want out of that. Well, there may be a level 1 or 2 helmet.
So I do have a 7700 kit, and they are an
How
absolute...
did you swindle that? So who's been entering the giveaways?
Oh, well.
I work on the social team. Funny. I got the
did
level
get
1
given it.
helmet.
I bet you got given your graphics card.
I had to do work for that.
Give over.
I had to work
Give
for it.
over.
Yeah, I had to work for it.